By Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Air Comfort Service is proud to support Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Sign your veteran up for their honor flight today at gslhonorflight.org. And for HVAC services, aircomfortservice.com.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ray.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
And last night, it was, not expected to be a victory. It was very Democrat areas, but I don't think it was good for Republicans. I don't think it was good. I'm not sure it was good for anybody. But we had an interesting evening, and we learned a lot. And we're going to talk about that, and I'll say a few remarks, and then after that, I'll ask the press to leave. The press has been very, very nice to us the last couple of months. They were great to us in terms of the foreign visits with China, Japan, South Korea, Malaysia.
President Trump speaking today at a breakfast with the Republican senators as they are still trying to manage the Schumer shutdown. Oh, and we have a communist mayor in the state of New York, in the city of New York City. Shocking, not shocking, folks. I told you yesterday. We did the poll yesterday. Would there be an upset? What did I say at the end of the show? Go roll the tape. No, there wouldn't. And I highlighted two things that we need to pay attention to. Two lessons for people who want to see the future of the country to go in a way that is America first. We needed to look at, obviously the results set aside. I didn't think that Republicans would win any of the elections. We needed to look at turnout, and we needed to look at margin of victory. And that's where we need to lean in a little bit as Republicans and pay attention to the election results yesterday. There really wasn't a razor-thin victory for Democrats anywhere. They won the election. Everything was called within, maybe an hour or so of the polls being closed. It wasn't a nail-biter. What you expected to happen happened. And I was listening to Fox News a little bit earlier. They said that this is the highest turnout they've had for that election, I think, since the 1960s, is the statistic that was offered up by Marie Harf, who was the Democrat on the couch during Outnumbered. So, look at it for what it is. If a Republican would have even come close, Chitterelli got it handed to him. After being in a close election the last time he ran, this was not close at all. And whatever polling was going on in New Jersey suggesting that it was close was bad polling. So what do you make of this? Is the whole country going to hell in a handbasket? It, in fact, isn't. Everybody just calm down. It's going to be fine, at least while Donald Trump is still the president. And I got to do a little math here because I tweeted this out last night, so I have to subtract a little. It's not going to be super specific, but we still have 3.1667 years left of Donald Trump being the president, 38 months, 167 weeks, 1,171 days, 28,145 minus about 15 hours left of this man being the president of the United States. And in my opinion, yes, this is the YouTube live chat poll for today. Who is favored in the 2026 midterm elections, Democrats or Republicans? Everything weighs, shocker, on Donald Trump. That's how we're going to know what happens in the midterm elections. If you woke up today and you do not live in New York City, you do not live in New Jersey, you do not live in Virginia, I think the Atlanta mayor got reelected. I understand that there are some Democrat moderates that got elected in Ohio. They were listing off these other places. I don't even know what those races were. This is not even a midterm election. This is an off-year election, and all of the resources of the Democrat Party are able to go out there and in these blue states utilize all of this for a momentum gathering point to push back against the big orange bad man. And they did it, and they did it well. I've said this on the show before. I don't think Winsome Sears was a compelling, charismatic enough candidate to win. I remember when Youngkin picked her to be the lieutenant governor. She was a very interesting and compelling addition to that ticket. But, I was looking into her, and is she Jamaican or Haitian or something like that? She's I think she's from one of those Central America. She can't be the president. People were talking about like, oh, I think that Winsome Sears is a great VP choice, and she's ineligible because she can't be the president. Now, that doesn't make her not good governor, not a very good governor candidate. But I mean, how much do you know of other than the fact that she's a Republican in Virginia running for governor? I bet you don't know much about her. These are not Republican candidates that cut through. And in blue states, Virginia's a blue state. In blue states, New Jersey's a blue state. New York City is Navy. You have to have a compelling, charismatic individual who makes people go, well, who the heck is that, in order to cut through the noise. And certainly Zoran Mamdani was one of those people. That's why people decided this time to vote for a socialist instead of a Democrat. So what does it mean for the future? Are you freaking out today? If you're not living in one of those places, you don't need to freak out. If you're in St. Louis, man, get your butt outside because it is a beautiful day. An absolutely gorgeous, picture-perfect day. Go outside, get some vitamin D, and think about what you can do next. It's not an outcome that we're going to come on the show today and celebrate. But did you really? What is that? What is that movie? Oh, not 10 Things I Hate About You. What's my favorite movie? The one with Freddie Prinze Jr. She's All That. You ever see that?
No.
Never?
I'm very familiar with the film.
Matthew Lillard. You know who Matthew Lillard
Yep.
is? He's like the first. Well, he's one of the bad guys in Scream.
Right.
Matthew Lillard, really goofy guy. He is in the movie She's All That. It's from the 90s. It's a classic high school drama. I still love it. And if you watch it right now, they would never make this movie in 2025. Can't do it. He's from the real world on MTV. So like the it girl, the to-be prom queen leaves the to-be prom king, Freddie Prinze Jr., because she goes on spring break and she meets Matthew Lillard at a beach party that MTV is filming. And he's actually on the real world. And he's exactly what you would expect someone from the real world. He's like, oh man, guys, it's totally, like super dumb. And he looks at her and is like, you didn't think I was going to go film Real World 2 still dating you, did you? And she goes, and then she kind of looks at him to the side and he goes, oh, you did? That's so sweet. That's what I think of when I am looking at what the Democrats right now, they're having a moment in the sun. Let them have that moment in the sun. Chuck Schumer out there, we heard that in the Fox News report at the top of the hour. He called it a shellacking. I mean, it's really hard to say that it wasn't a shellacking. If the Republicans would have run the table in the way that the Democrats ran the table, name a Republican who won yesterday.
I don't think I can name any. Unless you're talking about some rando race that nobody's paying attention to.
I'm asking you to name one.
No, there aren't any.
That's a shellacking. But I mean, if you're gonna, it's like the first games of the NCAA basketball season. You've got Big Ten teams, ACC teams playing against these teams you've never heard of because that school's getting a boatload of cash to play them and bring people and put butts in the seats. And it's like, oh man, the ACC and the Big Ten ran the table yesterday in a shellacking. And you're like, yeah, that's the way it's set. Democrats were supposed to win these elections, and they did. I do think that there should be a concern about the degree with which they won. There were no close calls that I'm aware of. Even the Jay Jones one took a little bit longer to call, but it was 40,000 votes, 50,000 votes, or something.
I think it ended up being 3% or more, which is
it wasn't it. You know, maybe he should have won by 8%. Maybe he should have won by 10%, and some people decided to pull away from it. I think that the big takeaway from yesterday's elections is that in blue states, Republican whatever, MAGA whatever, has not swept over these blue areas, not in political motivation. We play Harry Enton polls on this show from CNN where he's talking about like, gosh, the people are really blaming the Democrats more than the Republicans for the government shutdown. The Republicans aren't being hurt by this. Donald Trump has actually gained a point in his overall approval rating or whatever it might be. It hasn't been we have not been, what are we, 10 months, 9.5 months into this presidency, the second term. We're not this close into this presidency thinking that this has been a really, really terrible 9.5 months. On Monday, we were still feeling pretty good about the way President Trump was handling things. And the question was, when are the Democrats going to end the shutdown? And it turns out, as we saw from Eric Schmidt, among many other people, and I really think that they were right, that they were trying to make sure that the sentiment was a very negative political sentiment surrounding a government shutdown, because that was a political motivator in getting people off their butts out to vote in this Tuesday election. And the Republicans didn't have an answer for that. What would be motivating for Republicans right now? You've got exactly what you want in the White House, in Donald Trump. You won the big one. And for everything that we heard from Zohran Mamdani, like, what is the first thing? What's the first word people say when they talk about Zohran Mamdani?
Socialism.
No. What's the first word that they use to refer to Zohran Mamdani when they're talking about him as a candidate? Can you think of the word I'm thinking of?
Charismatic?
Yes.
There.
You were in a different path than I was leading you. But he's super charming. You got Zohran Mamdani out there, and he is sweet. All those pictures they have of him, he's just beaming with happiness, with glee. He makes you want to be a part of whatever's making him happy. You know, we just talked about this just not long ago. We're talking about, what's her face, Jen Welch or whatever, Squelch. She's got that podcast, and these people are just so aggressively angry. They're so angry. There's nothing about them that is compelling. There's nothing about them that draws you in to what they're saying, what their message is. There's nothing about them that makes you go, well, that looks pretty entertaining, or that looks pretty calming. I'd like some of that. Zohran Mamdani, he's got it. He's got the riz, folks. He knows how to get people's attention. He knows how to make people see him and be curious about why he is the way he is. Well, here's the really interesting thing for folks to pay attention to. And I think that if you were worried about the first thing, and probably the thing I wish people would think about first with Mamdani, which is socialism, how do you enact that? Well, he's, basically Zohran Mamdani, he is using in a campaign fists being shook at the man. It's for the people, and we are going to take the man down. But he doesn't say this part out loud. In order to take the man down, he has to become the man that then makes the decision. That's the problem with socialism. One of the problems with socialism. That it's the sell to the people who are going to be ruled under a socialistic style government. They're the little guy, and socialism is going to be there in a way that's going to finally make everybody have what they need. But in order to do that, you got to take away the power from. We hear today that the 1% in New York, whatever's left of them, they're going to get hit hard and quickly when Zohran Mamdani gets sworn in on January 1st. Why? Because there's a new man in town, and that man's name is Zohran Mamdani, and he's going to make the decisions. The government is going to show up. The government is going to regulate who gets what, and when you've had enough, and when you will say, thank you, sir. Thank you for what you've provided for me, because you're not going to be responsible for providing all these things for yourself. You're going to have to contribute. You better believe you're going to have to contribute. All this free stuff is pretty freaking expensive. Listen to Mr. Riz himself, Zohran Mamdani, last night. Charming, welcoming, warming, comfortable. Listen to how this very charming man takes the moment after he wins to speak to New Yorkers, the folks that he's about to govern. Listen how he talks.
The sun may have set over our city this evening, but as Eugene Debs once said, I can see the dawn of a better day for humanity. For as long as we can remember, the working people of New York have been told by the wealthy and the well-connected that power does not belong in their hands. Fingers bruised from lifting boxes on the warehouse floor, palms calloused from delivery bike handlebars, knuckles scarred with kitchen burns. These are not hands that have been allowed to hold power. And yet, over the last 12 months, you have dared to reach for something great.
So when you're listening to Mayor-elect Zoran Mamdani here, here's something you need to understand. This is what I'm talking about. He's talking about the guys lifting boxes off of warehouse floors. You know, the workers of the city. The people who haven't had any power whatsoever. They're not going to have the power after Mamdani becomes the mayor. That power is not going to them. Wherever the power is leaving, wherever Mamdani is trying to tell these people the power has resided outside of your hands, outside of your grasp, it's been elsewhere. And probably the less definable, the better. That power does not shift to the people. It shifts to Mamdani. That's socialism. And when he's quoting Eugene Debs, a quick Wikipedia search will tell you he's an American socialist, political activist, trade unionist. It's a choice of words there, isn't it? They are no longer hiding that quiet part that Barack Obama ushered in 15, 16, 17 years ago. The quiet part was a socialism. It was a democratic way of doing politics that really had heart. It had feeling. It had eyes for the people who had been unseen. But the policies were always socialism. The goal was always to get to a place where socialism was enacted. It is now wide out there and in the open. And I hope that socialism miserably fails in New York City and that New York City quickly comes back, revives itself from this dabbling of an experiment that they are about to engage in. I hope that my generation, who's never really seen this put into play, Barack Obama might have dabbled a little bit, but my generation, and I'm in my 40s, we've never seen what this looks like. People talk about McCarthyism. People talk about the Soviet Union. I'm in my 40s. I don't have a recollection of seeing that with my own eyes. I know it existed in my lifetime. But people who are as old as me do not know what this looks like up front. We've heard about it. I think the intellectual ones have paid attention to it and are willing and capable of understanding that entering it back into our government system right now is incredibly dangerous. But apparently not enough to stop it from happening again. So here comes a grand experiment. Pay attention to what's going on in New York City. But remember, if you're not living there, protect the homeland. Protect the home front. Missouri, you have a responsibility right now. I saw someone on Twitter said, if you live in a red state, now's the time to make very public all the crappy reasons why people shouldn't move to your state and bring their voting habits with them. Illinois, I don't have anything to say about that, not at least right now. Guys, it's going to be okay, but I want to ask you this question. Who is favored in the 2026 midterm elections? Are you ready to make a prediction? Get on the Annie Fry Show Facebook or YouTube page, I should say, and vote in the poll. It's in the live chat portion. Democrats or Republican? Who do you think's got the favorite there? We'll be right back. So HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com, 314-227-9636. That's 314-227-9636. Matt Hayes wants to meet you. He wants to meet another Annie Fry Show listener. He's here listening. You need to understand the type of personalization, the customer service experience you're going to get when you've finally decided to make that phone call about a wet basement you have. And I'm also going to plead with you. And I remember I have a family member or a relation who had this experience, so I know how this goes. If mom and dad's house has a leaky basement and mom and dad are stressing about this all the time when the water's coming in and they're elderly and you're taking care of them and you know that this is an issue, get somebody out there who's going to win them over so that this problem can get fixed once and for all. 314-227-9636. Good people matter. Certainly when I'm hiring people, I want my money to go to someone who is going to make sure they earn it. They're going to treat me right. The customer service is going to be top notch, but also that this waterproofing system that they're going to put in my home is going to come with a lifetime warranty, which makes me go, okay, we're in good hands. Call Matt Hayes. 314-227-9636. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
Kids don't always like to get school report cards, but they are important and helpful. They document subjects where they're strong and others where they need to show some improvement. Ever wonder why you don't get a report on how your child's school compares to others? At the Show Me Institute, we think you should, and that's why we've started the Missouri School Rankings Project. Click on the website moschoolrankings.org, and it's all there. Rankings and letter grades for all the schools in Missouri. The rankings are based on several categories, such as student performance in English, language arts, and math, ACT scores, and graduation rates. Then we take the rankings and come up with a grade point average, just like your child has. Each school and district will have a grade, and the website is easy to use. Don't you want to know how your child's school stacks up? Now you can. Learn more at showmeinstitute.org. The Show Me Minute has been brought to you by Show Me Institute and Show Me Opportunity.
Rhino Shield is far superior to even the best traditional exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Rhino Shield is the only ceramic coating company that has been chosen by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where every episode is concentrated on unpainted brick, bonds and seals to stucco, wood, hardy, block, color lock, masonite, and more. No better product for those steel aluminum-sided homes that have become, chalky and tired looking. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. After 15 years, we've got a great reputation and a superior product. As long as it's affordable, why wouldn't you do it? Before you make the costly mistake of painting with traditional paint, you'd be best served to call Rhino Shield today. We are the experts and our evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Tell them, ladies.
No paint, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Sponsored by Progressive. We make the claims process easy so you can get back on the road in no time. It's why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive. See for yourself at progressive.com.
Annie Fry is back because truth doesn't take a break. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. So we talked a little bit about the election yesterday. Of course, you can't come in today and not acknowledge what Chuck Schumer is calling a shellacking for Republicans. Republicans lost in every blue state last night. Ah, darn. It's not exciting. There's no real, spoke to hang your hat on after yesterday if you're a Republican. Other than, I do think that the Democrats might be underestimating a little bit. And I'm going to give them maybe generously a week to bask in the glow of finally not feeling like they were miserable losers in every way, shape, or form. Minority in the House, minority in the Senate. Obviously, Kamala Harris is unemployed. And the Supreme Court's a 6-3 conservative balance, constitutional balance. Not a lot of places for Democrats to feel like they've had victory. And yesterday, they secured the fact that New Jersey and New York and Virginia are still home court advantage. You like to see an upset. Everybody likes to see an upset. Republicans didn't get one yesterday. Bummer. But what does that mean going forward? A couple of things. Republicans have to figure out, as Donald Trump said today, how to win when Donald Trump's not on the ballot. That means they have to figure out how to get out the vote. But the second thing that, like I said, I don't hear any Democrats saying this right now, but I wouldn't say this if I were in their shoes either. But the Democrats, the soul splitting in the Democrat Party, that divide is getting bigger. And I heard Marie Harf on Outnumbered saying something like, there were moderate Democrats that won in Ohio. And I'm like, who? Who are they? You elected a socialist to be the mayor of New York City. if there was a moderate Democrat that won in Ohio, I don't think that you can win a socialist candidate in Ohio. Like, if you're going to win in Ohio, it's going to be a moderate Democrat. It's probably going to be mostly a moderate Republican, too.
They're not going to be openly socialist.
No, that's going to be the quiet part still for them.
It's exactly.
So if you've got Mamdani as now the highest profile today and probably for the rest of this week, the highest profile Democrat in the party, and they're openly a socialist. Chuck Schumer was asked yesterday, who'd you vote for? And he goes, I voted. And he was basically like, that's all you need to know. Because he can't say out loud, did you vote for Cuomo or did you vote for Mamdani? Of course he voted for Cuomo. Obviously he would vote for Cuomo. If he was going to vote for Mamdani, Mamdani is the type of guy who has been leading this whole time. He won the primary, and when the New York primary happened and Mamdani won the Democrat nomination pretty handily, after he won that, New York, all the national news was like, well, he's going to be the mayor. And then today, the day after the election, it's like, I can't believe he's the mayor. And I'm like, yes, you can. You've been saying this for this long, for months. You knew this was going to happen. Are you freaking out?
A little bit, yeah, because of the margins. The outcomes of these races is not a surprise at all. We said it yesterday. We didn't think any Republican was going to pick off any of these races.
You said yes. You said Chitterelli was going to win. Or
no,
you said Jay Jones was going to lose.
No, I said that they were close, but I was going to go with Jay Jones. No, I absolutely did. I picked all Democrats, and I said no in the poll. But the margin of victory is what surprises me.
Not close elections.
These were big wins, and the Chitterelli one. So, I mean, the biggest surprise. All the polling had him within about 3 points, and it ended up being more like 13 points. That's a major miss for the polls, and it shows Democrat enthusiasm. I will say this because I'm not just going to be negative about everything. I think that the party switch has fully happened now for the blue-collar, low-propensity voter, which means that in the old days, in our childhood and early adulthood, Republicans did really well in off-year elections because we had higher propensity voters, because the average voter, the blue-collar guy, didn't show up in off years. That is completely switched now to where I do believe that Democrats are going to be the ones that do really well in these off-year elections.
Democrats always do well in these.
Oh, no, Republicans, yes, for the last few cycles they have. But for a long, long time, Republicans did great in off-year elections.
In blue states?
Well, no, I mean, in general.
I mean, these are always, this off-year election, are you talking about like midterms?
Midterms and
off-year. Because this is different than this off-year. Like, there's just a handful. The attention to... Like, that's the thing that people need to understand. The money and the attention. Like, the fact that you've been exposed to so much Mamdani and Chitterelli. Like, when it's a midterm election, you're not going to be able to name the people who are running for governor in Utah. Like, most people are not going to be able to name that. But there's so few elections. There's such a concise geographical location where the Democrat Party can do what they do best, which is get out the vote. I mean... I don't know how far back you have to go to see where Republicans did well in a not midterm, but an off-year election in Virginia.
No, I'm not talking specific to Virginia. I'm just talking about off-year elections and smaller elections in general. But the positive side of that change of the blue-collar worker is that now Republicans should do better in the big elections, in presidential elections and on-year elections. So there's a switch there that I think that we're seeing play out in real time, and it's not all bad for Republicans.
We should have a polling person on, because I feel like the numbers that I know are not the same as the numbers you know. Where do you get those numbers?
Concerning what?
Like the history of... So you're saying there's a flip that Democrats are now doing well in these elections?
Smaller elections, yeah. So and I'm talking not just these states. I'm talking about your April elections and your elections that are really off the grid. That's where you're going to see Democrats do better than they used to and Republicans do worse.
I don't know. I don't know about the local elections. Turnout was big. Turnout was in New York City was, according to what Fox News reported earlier today, as big. The last time it was this big was in the 60s. So I think that matters. Let's take a quick break here. We're going to be back in just a minute. Who is favored in the 2026 midterm elections? Democrats or Republicans? You feel like you want to weigh in on this one. We'd love to hear what you think. How's it going to go for Republicans in the wake of what we found out yesterday? Is it even connected? I don't even know that it's connected. I think they're just such different animals. And I've got another reason why I can't predict at this point exactly who I think is going to be better, but I can tell you what is going to determine what is going to happen in that midterm election. And that answer isn't out there yet. We'll be right back. AirComfortService.com. If you have a heating system that needs to be checked out, you want to contact Air Comfort Service at 314-513-0091. 314-513-0091. Of course, it's kind of a warmer, cool day out there today, as is a gift in the early part of November, so go out and enjoy it. But you might want to schedule that heating system check right now to make sure that you get in before we plummet into the very cold temperatures, and everybody is going, can you come look at my furnace? Air Comfort Service is ready to take your phone call at 314-513-0091 and have them come out and check and run the maintenance on your furnace system to make sure that you're not going to walk yourself into some very costly repairs that could have been avoided. If you become a member and a preferred partner, you're going to get regularly scheduled heating and cooling system checks twice a year, discounts on diagnostic calls and repairs, discount on new equipment if needed, and of course, you're going to get priority service, the very best treatment. Mention the Annie Fry Show when you call 314-513-0091, aircomfortservice.com.
Men. Need a clinic that accepts all insurance, including Medicare? U.S. Men's Medical Center in St. Peters does. U.S. Men's helps men experiencing loss of energy, focus, concentration, and low libido. And they accept all insurance, even Medicare, for testosterone replacement therapy. Patients love the staff and the fact that, yes, I'm going to say it again, they accept all insurance, including Medicare. Feel better? Call U.S. Men's Medical Center at 636-244-5333.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/radio for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
For 100 years, KMOX has been part of St. Louis. Now, Together Credit Union is helping celebrate that legacy. Starting in November, visit any Together Credit Union branch to pick up a KMOX 100th anniversary commemorative ornament for just $5 while supplies last. Each ornament supports Children's Miracle Network of Greater St. Louis. Together Credit Union, honoring 100 years of KMOX, the voice of St. Louis, and Children's Miracle Network of Greater St. Louis, improving the health of all children.
YouTube live chat poll today. Who is favored in the 2026 midterm elections, Democrats or Republicans? This is, of course, in light of yesterday's elections. Did that change anything for you? Did it not change anything for you? Love to know why you believe what you believe, and type a comment on the YouTube page. We are going to be starring those and keeping track as we go. Of course, we'll give you the results at the end of the show. 12:37. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Consistently right.
It's a ritual.
97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
Gave up the fight until now. It's gonna hit you hard till you see stars.
I think it's going to be very difficult from a messaging standpoint. All of the energy is behind Zohran Mamdani. And what I remember something that George Will said. Every 20 years or so, people need a controlled experiment in socialism to remind them of why they need adults in charge. And unfortunately, for the city that is not of my birth, but is certainly the one that I adopted and that I love this place. I do hope for the best. I wish him the best and hope that he can love it as much as we do.
So Dana Perino there quoting George Will, of course, saying that there's a 20-year cycle of people needing to revisit that experiment of socialism to understand why it's a bad idea, but also to understand why we need the adults in charge. I actually think that this is a really good moment. I don't know politically how consultants and whatever would think about this, but I don't care. I think the Republicans should say good luck. We're completely opposed to it. That's why we ran against it. We think it's going to be a failure. New York City voted for it. Good luck. I mean, one of two things is going to happen. Will take place here. One of two things will take place. The first is you're going to be proven right. Republicans will be proven right. New York City will fall by the wayside the way Republicans predict. First and foremost, and we're going to talk with Deroy Murdock about this in about 30 minutes from now. First and foremost, the safety and security of a diminished NYPD is going to affect the way people feel, their safety and security that they feel while they're in the city. And then after that, you're going to tax all the rich. Well, they're going to just leave. They're going to go away. And when they go away, their tax dollars are going to go away. And then how are you going to pay for all the free programs that you're offering to the public? You have to find sources somewhere. The New York Post reported today that Jewish FDNY commissioner hands in resignation morning after anti-Israel Zohran Mamdani elected mayor. The fire commissioner, Robert Tucker, handed in his resignation first thing Wednesday, just one day after Mamdani was elected. Tucker, a Jewish philanthropist and businessman, will step down from the role he has held for just over 12 months. On December 19th, he will go back to running the private security firm, T&M, which he headed before joining Mayor Eric Adams' administration. News of Tucker's resignation came just as the FDNY boss was set to fly to Israel later today to meet with a fire commissioner in the Jewish state. I think that I know this, but the reason I know this is because I'm a big fan of the show Blue Bloods.
Mm-hmm.
You ever watch it?
I'm very familiar with it because it ran on a station that I was at.
Have you ever watched an episode?
I've never sat down and watched it.
Oh, it's so good. So good. Tom Selleck?
Everybody loves it.
Yes. It's like every episode's a complete show.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about family values and police work. And Bridget Moynihan, who's Tom Brady's first wife, she's a district attorney. So they kind of have all these different, there's a, Tom Selleck, of course, is the chief of police. And then he's got a detective son and a sergeant and whatever. And a lot of the politics of the NYPD commissioner exists between how he wants to keep the city safe and how the mayor envisions what that looks like. The optics of it all.
Okay.
So there's a lot of give and take. And in that show, it is made clear regularly that the commissioner, the police commissioner, serves at the pleasure of the mayor. So the mayor, I don't know, every 10 episodes, the mayor's threatening to demand the resignation, or Tom Selleck is walking in with his resignation, and the mayor's like, I'm not going to take it. There's a cycle of this that goes on and on. But, there are a lot of people who I feel are going to look at the direction that the city is taking and go, this isn't for me. I'm out. It's not about people being forced to do things they don't want to do, because you don't have to stay. You can just leave. Now, I'm somebody who lives in the state of Illinois, and I've talked many times to a lot of you. We went to the party at Lit to celebrate our 25th anniversary for the station. The governor of the state of Missouri has frequently on this show invited me to move across the river. Senator Eric Schmidt is very vocal about me moving across the river. I have got some high-profile invitations to pick up, and I could move 25 minutes away and live in a red state. And I haven't done it yet. And there are going to be a lot of New Yorkers who say, heck no, I'm not moving. This is my city. I'm not giving it up. More power to those people. But it's going to be a bumpy ride. Here's a crazy question to consider. Is there any possibility that what Mamdani is about to offer works?
Oh, yeah. Okay, yes, there is. But the problem is it'll be short-lived. There is a very good possibility that for a couple years, it actually goes okay.
How? How's that look?
Well, let's say he freezes rent. Not every single landlord is going to jump ship and sell their building in year 1 or 2. It's not going to happen. So they're going to eat that cost for a little while. It's the way socialism in general works, is that for a little while, it can work because you borrow from the future to pay for the present. So what very well could happen is he starts enacting, and I'm talking economically because a lot of the police stuff, you'll see that immediately. That's the problem.
But you won't see it if it's not reported.
But it's New York City, though.
Yeah, but they'll cover for it.
That's what I'm happy about.
Fox News is already covering all the terrible thing that's going to happen. So when it happens, it's not going to sound much different than what they've been warning you about since Mamdani won the campaign to get the nomination. I don't think MSNBC is going to. It'll be MS Now. I think that's happening this week.
MS Now is happening now?
Now.
Now? Wow.
I think, they're not going to highlight the failures of socialism in New York City. CNN isn't going to do it either. You might get a little on CNN because good old Scott Jennings. But just to your point, it's going to be hard to cover that stuff up, but they'll do their very, very best.
The only reason why I think that his policy, and I'm speaking strictly economically here, the only reason I could see them falling quicker than a typical socialist society would is because it's just New York City. Now, New York City is a huge city, but it is still a city. It's not a state. It's not a country. So that stuff happens faster because there's less to absorb it. So can it succeed in the same way as socialism does? Very short term.
The thing that frightens me about the left getting lefter, progressive to the point where progressive is the moderate side, and now we're really just electing socialists in areas in our country. The thing about that truly actually worries me a little bit I can get into a deep rabbit hole in my brain and kind of, game plan this out. How's this going to go? War game or whatever. This is going to make blue states bluer, red states redder. And I worry that at some point they're not going to be compatible. So how does that work? And I don't understand. I mean, okay, I was going to say, what would have to happen in order to bring a country back together where they feel like they actually have a united purpose in existing together? And it's like, like the other time where we had the red states and the blue states and there was a Mason-Dixon line. I was compelled to say a bad word there. Like, that's not good. That's not the direction that I want this to head in. The other thing, when it comes to socialism, that does make me think that every other time socialism has been dabbled in is different than this time, is the progressive, not progressive as in liberal, but the evolving nature of artificial intelligence. The amount of people who are going to not have manual labor jobs because they're going to be automated. We are going to have to adapt in a certain kind of way. And I do believe wholeheartedly that there are people drooling over the possibility of using socialism as a way to compensate for that, literally compensate for it. Those are some scary things to think about on this break that we're going to be on. But when we come back, Wiggins America, things people pretend to care about at work but absolutely do not. Socialism, communism.
I can't say that there was a theme.
Office temperatures.
That's part of what we're actively dealing with.
Yeah. Not because anyone's making a choice, at least not that we're aware of.
Somebody's sabotaging us.
I wore shorts to work today, folks. That's not something that I traditionally ever do. Let's get to Wiggins America next. Don't go away.
I'm so excited. We are giving away AC/DC tickets. They're coming to town September 6th at the Dome. Be sure to listen to the Mark Cox Morning Show to win tickets to the show. We'll have a chance to win every day this week between 5 and 9 a.m.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how to link to the market without the risk. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go online to retirementkey.com.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs, with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
No need to get technical on heating and cooling. We all want our houses to cool, correct? When it's heating season, we want them to heat, correct? There's not much more to it than that, but I can give you some pointers and tips on the efficiencies, meaning the efficiencies of your house. What you can do to make your house more efficient, and then deciding on what system to purchase, therefore maximizing every single dollar you spent for a furnace and air conditioner. Not spending maximum dollars on a furnace and air conditioner because you're told of an efficiency rating, and that's it. So again, a common sense approach. When you start getting prices for any furnace and air conditioners, call me. It's one easy number, Missouri and Illinois. Again, Missouri and Illinois, the only number, 314-293-2600. Again, that's 314-293-2600, or on the internet, it is bartinman.com. That's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-894-7722. That's 800-894-7722. Again, 800-894-7722.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Wiggins!
Oh,
Wiggins! All right, these are things people pretend to care about at work, but absolutely do not.
Before you go on, are there things that you pretend to care about here at work, Ryan, that you actually don't care about?
No, definitely not.
Man, you can't say no question mark. That's a yes. I don't.
Maybe it's all these things.
And at this point, especially having worked here for 2009, what is that, 16 years, and been in the radio industry for almost 20, I don't pretend to care about anything. I tell people I don't care about this. Just tell me what you need from me, and I'm happy to do it.
Yeah, you do that.
I want to be honest with people. Be like, I understand that I probably have a role that needs to contribute in here, and I will happily do that to be a good employee, but I do not care about this. Brad, do you pretend to care about things you don't care about?
No, I care about everything that I say that I care about. And I think it's just too much.
That's super genuine of both of you, because I do pretend to care about certain things.
So Brad actually cares about everything. Is that what you said? You care about everything?
Yeah.
That he's open about. You probably are also honest when you don't care about something.
No, you never not care.
That's more it there.
He doesn't.
He
never not. He never doesn't.
So you
care.
just care about everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't care
and you don't care about anything.
And you, it depends on the issue. You're faking it half the time.
Yeah, you don't know.
Yeah.
That's the way I like it. Except I am going to tell you about this one, and I'll tell you the first one on this list is definitely on my list of pretend to care about.
Faux care.
Yeah. Team building activities.
Oh, I hate them. And everybody here who's ever made me even close to participate knows. When I walk in the room, they're like, how's she going to handle this?
You know why I pretend to care about them, though? Because usually they're not from the top down. There's somebody within our organization.
Collateral damage having to do this?
Who's just putting their best into it. And I'm like,
are you talking about Trisha?
Darn it for you. That
You're
sucks.
talking about Trisha.
No, not just Trisha, but I'm sure
about
Trisha
Trisha.
gets wrapped up in these things too. But they do
Trisha's
their best.
really big into icebreakers. She's guys,
Explain.
Let's tell two truths and a lie. It's about time we've done that, right? Let's just get to know each other. No, she's not like that.
I was kind of like, what?
No.
What are you talking about?
If Trisha were here, she'd be like, you're the worst.
So team building activities is on the list. Companies want to encourage teamwork. I get that. It's just that everybody knows what you're doing.
Do you know what I would like to spend that time doing? Instead of team building? Working. Doing something that was going to contribute to the bottom line. Or if I've completed that and there's no work for me left to do, I want to go be with my family.
You know what I would like to do with that time?
I don't know if we're allowed to talk about it on the air.
Yeah.
Water slides. So maybe, Odyssey, if you're listening,
oh gosh,
take your resources from team building, put it into a water slide.
Yeah,
it
then
doesn't
everybody
have to
can
be,
show up in their swimwear.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be an official one. It can be a slip and slide. Number 2.
You know it would be a slip and slide. It'd be a garage or a garbage bag slip and slide with some water from the
tape down in the hallway
and a bunch of Dawn soap. Man, you can fly on some Dawn soap.
You've been wondering why it's hot in here, folks. We've got an answer and a solution. Let's get in our swimsuits.
Wait, why is the second floor flooded? Because Odyssey's on the 3rd. Company-wide emails. Mass emails.
People pretend to care, but they don't.
People pretend to care in mass emails.
I do not appreciate the reply all. Don't reply all. Keep it to yourself.
You know what I've gotten to, though? Because there's a shift culturally where most people will now not reply all. There's still usually a couple. But even on group texts, people will just not reply. And then I feel bad if somebody sends a group text that nobody says anything to acknowledge that it even exists.
Just reply not in the group text.
I know, but I feel bad.
It is the greatest snarky, sarcastic restraint that I will ever muster to not reply all. After 13 people have replied all to an email, to not say something in a reply all that doesn't need to be said.
Oh, after there's 10 emails, that's where it gets fun.
It breeds.
Uh-huh.
It gets worse
Yeah.
because you can tell, everybody in the office knows, the people who are replying all, the like fifth person to reply all is doing it because they're angry. You know what I'm saying?
Or having fun. That's what I would do.
They're having fun to cull the anger.
Yes. And I'm going to say this one time. Every single person who's a part of an organization has had this happen. I love when somebody accidentally sends out a company email and it was meant for one person. That is
it's a real treat.
A great day.
Man.
Everybody loves it. Everybody's walking around, slapping each other on the back, joking about that one email. Things are good for
What's
one
next?
day. The open door policy. Most people have likely been told that their job is like a family. And because of that, if there's anything they need, the door is always open. But if people are honest, the open door policy is another thing people pretend to do, but they're not really doing. You can't really just go talk to anybody about anything at any time.
You shouldn't. It's your job.
I agree.
It should just be about work.
That's why it's on the list.
I feel like Trisha and Steve both, those are our main bosses. I feel like I could go talk to them anytime about, like if I had a personal issue that was affecting my ability to do my job, it's happened here and there. They are 100% going to accommodate that. But I think it's because I don't abuse it. If I were in there going like, oh man, my dog pooped on the floor this morning and it just ruined my day and I don't know what to do about it and my TV's not working and it's just, I'm having a rough day. They'd be like, can you do your job? And I'd be like, I don't know.
Okay, message received. I understand what you're saying. The subtext is stop talking to Trisha about your eczema, Ryan. So I will.
Oh, she told me it was a different kind of rash.
See, that's the game of telephone, and that's what I hate. There are a whole bunch more of these if you
Okay.
want to revisit it.
Yeah, we'll get to it. We'll get to it a little bit later in the show. When we come back, we're going to talk to Deroy Murdock. Of course, resident of New York City. How's he doing? I messaged Brad last night. I go, is Deroy confirmed from tomorrow? He's going to be in a mood. We're going to have it here next on the Annie Fry Show. Don't go away.
Now that we're getting older, we've been putting more thought into maintaining our health.
We knew the water we drink every day could be filled with contaminants, so
We called Leaf Home Water Solutions.
they came to our home and did a free water test and gave us the analysis right away.
We were shocked at what we saw.
They found heavy metals like iron and copper.
Our own tap water was putting our health at risk, but Leaf Home Water Solutions made it easy to get safer water from every tap and hose. A whole home solution.
They have more than 250 product combinations and designed a system that fits our needs and budget. The installation took less than a day.
With Leaf Home Water Solutions, our water is safer and healthier. When we drink, when we cook, when we shower, even when we garden.
We feel better about our health.
Thanks to Leaf Home Water Solutions.
Schedule your free home water test today at leafhome.com/free and save 15% on all home water treatment systems. That's leafhome.com/free for your free home water test and 15% off. leafhome.com/free.
It's an annual tradition, the Florissant Veterans Day Parade at 1 p.m. on Sunday, November 9th. Come out and show your support as we salute the brave men and women who serve our nation. Details and parade route at 971talk.com/events. KFTK FM Florissant.
An Odyssey station.
Brady, Fox News.
Candidates across the country up and down the ballot decisively defeated MAGA Republicans.
House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries calls it a rejection of extremism, though House Speaker Mike Johnson says it's not surprising for Democrats to win in blue states and cities.
And no one should read too much into last night's election results. Off-year elections are not indicative of what's to come.
President Trump moments ago focusing on last year's election 1 year ago today.
And above all, we won a resounding mandate to make America great again, which is what we're doing.
He's at a business forum in Miami defending an agenda Democrats say is failing Americans and helped fuel wins in the New Jersey and Virginia governor's races and the New York City race for mayor, won by a Democratic socialist. The president, citing pollsters, blames the government shutdown in part and says Republicans should scrap the Senate filibuster to pass a stopgap spending bill. As Democratic congressional leaders demand a meeting with him, the president has said they'll have to reopen government first. It's tariff day at the U.S. Supreme Court.
On the one hand, Chief Justice Roberts says tariffs raise revenue.
The vehicle is imposition of taxes on Americans, and that has always been the core power of Congress.
But on the other hand, tariffs are a tool of foreign affairs, a power of the presidency. For nearly 3 hours, justices considered if tariffs imposed to respond to fentanyl and trade imbalances are in line with emergency powers. The court is fast-tracking the case, though may not issue an opinion for several weeks.
Fox's Jared Halpern in Washington. There's a rally on Wall Street after a sell-off yesterday. Right now, the Dow's up 275. The NASDAQ is up 264. America is listening to Fox News.
An official message from Medicare.
Medicare plans change from one year to the next. And this year, it's important for you to review your current coverage and compare all your options during Medicare open enrollment. Compare health plans, drug coverage, and costs. See if you can save some money, and don't forget to make sure your drugs are covered. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Visit Medicare.gov or call 1-800-MEDICARE.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Here's a tale of Becky. Didn't know what to do with new meds prescribed and no real cost clue.
She squinted at prices, that can't be right. Then tapped GoodRx and saw the light.
She could get a deal. Book telehealth if she feel.
Learn about those meds without any stress. That one little app does all the rest. Even my horse downloaded it. Dang, save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Temperatures going downhill as we go through our Wednesday afternoon. Fair amount of sunshine, but it's windy from the north. We will be falling through the 60s. Clear and cold tonight. Big bright full moon out there. 41 for the low. On Thursday, sunny and 65. Friday, partly sunny. Maybe a spot shower in the morning Friday. 71 degrees. 61 on Saturday. 46 for the high on Sunday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Fry Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Don't freeze as it gets colder. If your furnace isn't working, Air Comfort Service can get you back in your comfort zone fast with a service call for only $99. Get your furnace serviced. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ray.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
Well, we are reacting to the results of yesterday's elections across blue states, blue areas. We can't really think of a marquee Republican that won, right?
Not even a marquee. I mean, we can't even think of a Republican that won yesterday.
And if we came up with them, you'd probably never heard of them
Right.
either. Prop 50 in California, it's good. I saw lawsuits being filed right now to try to stop that in its tracks. Who knows? Every time something enters into the legal system, I'm like, it's going to go through the foul ball of the legal system, which is an appeal, where you think, we're finally going to get an answer, and then foul ball! It goes through an appeal cycle, and you start over and over and over and over again. So we will watch and see how that materializes. We're going to speak with Deroy Murdock here in just a second. Of course, a nationally syndicated columnist, Project 21 ambassador, Fox News contributor. I think it's important to pay attention to a lot of the reactions that are coming out of here. A lot of people are kind of saying New York is getting the government that it voted for, but also, as we were saying before, Dana Perino quoted George Will. We played that clip where he said, George Will said every 20 years we got to go through this governmental experiment of watching some sort of socialism be put into place so that everybody can remember that the adults need to be in charge. Maybe that's happening in New York City. I will remind you that at my 41 years of age, I haven't really seen socialism. I haven't seen a socialist openly campaign as a socialist without, kind of trying to sneak it in the back door, be charming on the front end like Zoran Mamdani was. And then we see in his speech last night, it's kind of a hostile speech. He was pretty fired up. And it really felt to me like Zoran Mamdani's victory speech, the first person he wanted to talk to was Donald Trump, not the people of New York that who would soon be governing, the people who sent him into the mayor's office. Let's ask somebody who is in New York City, near and dear to his heart, this race. And sad to say it didn't go your way, Deroy, but welcome back to the show. We're speaking with Deroy Murdock, nationally syndicated columnist, Project 21 ambassador, and Fox News contributor. Deroy, how you doing?
I'm great, Comrade Frey. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
Comrade Fry, excuse me. In the newest socialist age, we'll call each other comrade. How about that?
Friend. I mean, let me ask you this question. Is it going to be as bad as people thought it would be?
It could be. I've heard people saying, well, look, there's not that much Mayor Mamdani can do, and he's mayor-elect when he becomes mayor, because the state legislature can intervene, the governor can stop him, et cetera. Well, look, if you had a Republican state legislature or Republican governor looking at him saying, nope, you can't do this, you can't do that, maybe that makes sense, but you've got a governor who endorsed him, and then the state legislature in Albany is to his left. I mean, if anything, they're even more radical than he is. So the idea that folks in Albany are going to try to put a brake on Mamdani, I think is laughable. If anything, they'll be egging him on, saying, go, baby, go. So I think that's a problem. And even if they did say, look, we're not going to raise taxes because this is going to accelerate the exodus from New York City to Palm Beach and, Nashville, et cetera, he has pretty much complete control of the police department. And just if absolutely nothing else, he says to the police, okay, don't arrest people for misdemeanors, go easy on criminals, let people shoplift as much as they want, and so on. And you see policemen just either resigning and leaving, retiring early, or just not coming in as young cops or rookies into the police academy, or coming in small numbers. The ability to fight crime is going to be diminished. He doesn't strike me as a good guy who's dedicated to fighting crime. And if nothing else, I think the law and order situation here is going to deteriorate very badly even if Albany steps in and keeps the worst excesses of his socialist economics at bay. I'm not even convinced they'll do that. So some people have been whistling past the graveyard saying, oh, he'll be a symbolic figure. Look, I've lived in New York City long enough to know that just the tone coming out of City Hall can make such a difference. When Giuliani was mayor, he came in, and literally within a month, just the way he behaved and things he said and didn't say, the place started to feel different. Conversely, when de Blasio came in, within a month or two, things started to feel, oh boy, things are falling apart, things are spinning out of control. So just by his tone, manner, and basic leadership style, we can get a lot of damage done by Mamdani early on, even if people from Albany step in and try to put a rein on him, which I don't think they're going to do.
Deroy Murdock speaking with us right now. We've kind of had this conversation a little bit earlier in the show, but is it possible? Is there any possibility that socialism works in New York City? Is there any way that we're all going to have to sit back that are not living in New York City like you are and watch and see what happens? But Zoran has sold this message. It's a very exciting and hopeful message because you're going to have everything you need now. Finally, there's someone in charge who's going to give you everything that you need. You're not going to, have rent hikes and expensive groceries anymore. All of that's about to be fixed with Mamdani. Is there any way that what he says he's going to achieve, that the people of New York City 2 years in are going to say, "Gosh, he really did it"?
No. Next question. Look, this reminds me of a wonderful line from the musical Evita, and I highly recommend the film Evita starring Madonna, which I think is 30 years old now, if I'm not mistaken. It's a great movie, and it shows why a lot of these socialist ideas are a disaster. And there's a line in there that says something, she says, it's all sung, by the way, it's all musical. She says something like, we want a government that's big enough to give us the things we deserve.
I think that actually was a quote from Mamdani's speech last night.
Was that right? Well, there you go.
It's pretty close.
Exactly. So look, the socialism has been tried from 1917 in Russia, which became the Soviet Union. It failed there. It was tried across Eastern Europe after World War II. It failed there. It was tried in China. Not only did it fail there, but it cost the lives of about 60 million people. It was tried in Vietnam and Cambodia. It failed there. It was tried in Cuba. It didn't work there. It was tried in Angola and Ethiopia and other places in Africa. It failed there. No one's been able to point to anywhere where socialism has worked. People say, well, look at Sweden. Well, you look at Sweden, and Sweden's thriving now, in part because they threw the socialist yoke off some years ago, and they did things like, I believe they have universal school choice there, and they also have something along the lines of private retirement accounts, as President G.W. Bush tried to do. So, quote-unquote, socialist Sweden is actually much less socialist, much more capitalist, and people may remember it as being a failed socialist state, which is now succeeding because it's not, and a lot of people kind of forget that transition in the middle. Some places have been able to get by okay with very big government like the UK, but they're still lagging behind the US and lagging behind a lot of other more successful countries. And the basic problem with this is when people are working not for themselves but for the benefit of others, they don't tend to work so hard. And at some point, people get tired of paying high taxes for poor services, and the money doesn't come in, and the money can't keep up with the promises, and pretty soon the promises turn to nightmares, and down we go. So I suspect what will happen is that we'll try New York-style socialism, and it'll fail here as it's failed everywhere else. Everywhere else has been tried.
So, for a lot of us watching all of these blue states and blue cities have Democrats be elected, I said yesterday that we did a poll, and we asked our audience if they thought that there would be any kind of upset in these blue areas. And I said no, I didn't expect one, but I thought the things that we did need to pay attention to, let's say Democrats do run the table, we need to pay attention to turnout, and we need to pay attention to margin of victory. And both of those things were in the Democrat favor yesterday after the election results finally came in. What's the takeaway for Republicans in this off-year election? Are we worried about the midterm elections in 2026 due to the results we saw last night?
Yeah, we should be terrified. Absolutely. I don't have the figures, and I'm sure the figures will be out soon if they're not already. But we had a couple of things happen. One is that many people like us have said, look, the Democrats are out of ideas. The only idea they have is Trump derangement syndrome. Well, guess what? That's an idea, and that's a motivating idea. And there's people who may disagree on taxes, spending, school governance, et cetera. But one thing they agree on is, boy, we hate Donald J. Trump. Let's all show up and stick it to the man, stick it to the orange man, and they did. And that alone is probably a big part of the reason that Democrats showed up. And they thought, well, we can't do anything about the shutdown. We can't do anything about Trump's policies. We can't do anything about the Oval Office. One thing we can do is show up and vote for Mickey Sherrill and Abigail Spanberger and Zohran Mamdani, et cetera. And they did. So that's part of it. The Democrats' hatred for Trump can be a very motivating force and enough to get people to polls. Second, and this is what I need to confirm, and I don't know if this is the case, but I fear that a lot of Republicans thought, well, look, it's the golden age. Trump's in charge. He's in the White House. The beautiful ballroom is being built. He's doing peace deals. He's doing trade deals, et cetera. This is magnificent. I'm just going to stay home and, play with the kids or watch a movie or take a nap or go play tennis or whatever. Trump has it under control. That is a terrible idea. Every Republican, every election needs to go to the polls. We need a 100% turnout of every registered Republican and philosophical conservative and thinking Democrat who wants to join with us on these things to show up. And just thinking, well, I'll just vote once every 4 years. I'll vote for president. That'll be the magic wand that fixes everything. That's not going to help for governor. That's not going to help for the state assembly and state senate, state House of Delegates, whatever it is in various states. It's not going to do for city council. It won't do for the county commission. It won't do for the school board. And Republicans need to show up at the polls. And this idea of just I'll vote for president, that's it, is ridiculous and highly ineffective and frankly dangerous.
Yeah.
So I'd like to hear that every Republican showed up, but more Democrats showed up than we did. And so we did our jobs. They just did their job above and beyond what we did. My fear is a lot of people stayed home. And when Republicans stay home, guess what? Democrats show up, and the next day your taxes are going up, the spending is going up, the quality of your schools is going down, your streets get more dangerous, your streets get more dirty. So every Republican needs to show up 100% of the time for every election, period. And especially these days, in the past we had the excuse, well, I had to work that Tuesday, or gee, I had to pick up the kids.
That's an expensive work day.
I got stuck, a very expensive work day if you don't make it. I got stuck in traffic. Now you can vote at home, you can vote early. I'm not crazy about the early voting. I'm not crazy about I really hate the mail-in ballots, as a matter of fact. But given all of that, no Republican has any excuse whatsoever for not getting a ballot either cast at the polls on Election Day, which is what I do. I always vote on Election Day. Voting early if you have the opportunity, or if absolutely nothing else, you get yourself a mail-in ballot, you fill it in, you drop it off at the mailbox or directly at the registrar of voters if you can, and cast your ballot that way. There's no excuse for anything less than 100% universal Republican participation in every election going forward. And I hope last night teaches Republicans that lesson once and for all, forever and ever. Amen.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. We're wanting to continue our weekly updates with you because this is an experiment that a lot of people need to pay close attention to, how this does materialize once he's sworn in and is no longer mayor-elect. We need to know what it's like there from the ground, and you always give us the greatest insight, Deroy. Thanks for being with us. I was thinking about you last night. I was glad that we got to talk to you today, and we're looking forward to continuing to get the updates from you as we move forward through this.
Socialism with show tunes.
There you go. Only here on the Annie Fry Show with Deroy Murdock. We appreciate you. Take care.
Very good. Thanks, Annie. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Comrade, right? That's what we're saying. Comrade Deroy Murdock, newly mandated way that we have to speak. That's not true, but it might be soon. You heard it here first. All right, let's take a quick break. The YouTube poll. Who is favored in the 2026 midterm elections, Democrats or Republicans? Let us know how you feel about that one. And we'll read some of your comments on the air. You can also text us your thoughts at 314-241-9797. 314-241-9797. Who you got, Democrats or Republicans, in the midterms, and why? Let us know. We'll be right back.
When life happens and you need to sell your St. Louis area home, do what I did. Call my friend and trusted realtor, Gloria Liu, with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. She's here with me today. Gloria is a St. Louis real estate expert with over 22 years of experience and expertise helping you sell fast and for the most money.
Selling your home can be so stressful, especially when life happens, like a sudden job change, a passing of a loved one, or a growing family. Knowing exactly how much your home will sell in today's market is the first step. Then I back it up with an upfront written guarantee. My guarantee is simple and easy to understand. If I can't sell your home at our agreed-upon price and time frame, I'll buy it myself.
When life happens, the name to remember is Gloria Liu, Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. I strongly suggest you call her right now. It's 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888, or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw with Retirement Advisory Group. Are you worried about market volatility? Are you concerned your money won't last you through retirement?
Hi, I'm Tammy Kershaw, and as a family-owned business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you're nearing retirement or already retired. We have a lot of folks that aren't aware of all the new investment choices that are available, which give you growth and protection from losses at the same time. Are you aware of all the fees that you are currently paying? We can show you how to avoid those fees. So come in now for your free retirement review and get a second opinion on your retirement plan. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. Let us show you how to retire with confidence.
We are proud to say we haven't lost a penny of our clients' money in 39 years, and we won't lose a penny of yours either. Let our family help your family. Call us now at 314-993-9494 or go online to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
It's time for you to get to know my friends at Lit Cigar Lounge in Chesterfield, where luxury meets comfort. Mark Cox here. They have a great selection of rare bourbons, whiskeys, craft cocktails, anything you like to drink, cold beer, premium hand-rolled cigars from the finest makers in the world, even private lockers that are available if you choose to. Perfect for date nights or business meetings, and live music every Friday night. Family owned and operated. Check them out in Chesterfield at the District. It's litstl.com.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Missouri can count on.
The ACA Market Plan has just announced significant increases on their monthly premiums for 2026, with deductibles over $10,000. You can enroll with Greg Hammond's Freedom of Choice plans now. You don't have to wait. One of their plans lets you use any doctor, has zero outpatient deductibles, and it's 30 to 60% lower than most Obamacare plans. Other options are full coverage PPOs with national networks, copays, and 100% annual preventative care. Also, there's no income disclosure required, so no potential tax penalties. If you pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, call Greg, and they'll provide all available options. Call 314-794-7784. That's 314-794-7784. Or go to greghammonds.com. That's greghammonds.com. He can custom design a plan managed and chosen by you, not the government.
Sponsored by Progressive. We make the claims process easy so you could get back on the road in no time. It's why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive. See for yourself at progressive.com.
Rooted in faith, grounded in family. We're back with more truth. This is the Annie Fry Show.
Stock market doing today?
A good question. I haven't looked.
Kind of wonder how the markets are faring with socialism.
Dow Jones is up.
Yeah, 300 points. All right. I looked at my 401k last night, which would have been obviously a close before the election results were in, and it was down, but
I think that this always happens when the expected happens, because Wall Street likes predictability. So if the favorites win, the markets usually do good for a couple of days.
No, if it's really when the favorite's a socialist. There might be one caveat to predictability, which absolutely is what the markets prefer. When you're predicting a socialist becoming the mayor of the biggest city in the land, is Wall Street like, yeah!
Well, long term, they're not.
I don't know.
But short term, I think that usually does. That's why when Donald Trump was elected in 2016, the market just that day, whoosh, straight down because it was so unpredictable. And then it returned fast, though, when they started to look at his policies.
Anything else you want to talk about with the election? I'm kind of close to done with it. What do you think?
I do think there's some truth to the fact that conservatives are moving out of blue areas. It's not the only reason that yesterday was a pretty good blowout for Democrats, but it is a reason. And it's one of the reasons that it's going to be harder and harder to see moderates elected in blue areas because the average voter is moving left when conservatives are leaving. So, unfortunately, it's contributing to the polarization of our politics even more because, you know, you look at a governor of New York or a governor of Illinois, for that matter, or Oregon, California, they're going to be pretty far left, or at least they're going to have to pander that way and present themselves that way to win those votes. Meanwhile, conservative states are getting bigger, so that's probably good news, while blue states are getting smaller, less and less representation, but that takes time too. So, I don't know, these are big ships that take a while to turn in the ocean.
Big what?
Ships.
Oh.
These are big ships we're taking here.
Gosh. If anyone's taking a big ship, we know it's Ryan Wiggins.
Oh, yeah.
The biggest ship.
Biggest ship. Because I eat a lot before bed.
You never know, folks, when it's going to happen.
So anyway, you came for that kind of election analysis, and you got it.
This reminds me of the Beaker comment yesterday.
Yeah, we're about due, aren't we?
Yeah.
Isn't this about time?
Where's Beaker when you need him?
We kind of go, okay.
I bet Beaker takes little ships.
Yeah, all day.
Guys, we just elected communists. We have to have fun. We have to find a way to lighten the mood.
He's not our communist, though.
No, he's not my
he's
communist.
Way over there. They can do whatever they want over there.
But you can take the biggest ship of them all in New York City now. Right there on the street. You're not even going to get in trouble.
Man, yesterday I took a Titanic-sized ship.
Ryan, there was the line behind you. No.
Listen, this is political.
No.
I did because I went out on a limb and I said that Jay Jones was going to win, and that was my Titanic ship. See, it doesn't make any sense, but I tried.
I wish you wouldn't have. I wish we could go back about 90 seconds. And then I wish I would have righted the ship that this show is. Now I'm going to say this wrong.
Listen, I'll tell you the truth.
Brad's very close to the dump button.
It. What popped into my head was the phrase Titanic-sized ship.
I'm pretty sure that Brendan Carr at the FCC would hear what we said and be like, I think it's fine.
Oh, yeah. I think that guy's probably a huge fan.
They were making some sense, and the people need to hear about the big ship being taken in New York City right now.
Well, like I said the other day, the ship rolls downhill. These comparisons don't work in any other context.
I don't know that they work right now. You're just saying phrases and substituting a P for a T.
It's funny. This is a great segment.
This
is what we needed as Americans. It has nothing to do with me and you.
Why are you talking like this?
Bigger than us after yesterday.
This is where people have just gotten back into their office from lunch. They've been out. They've been doing business while we still can in this country. And they are like, I got to get back. I got to know what they're talking about with the election. And they just tuned in now. And they're like, I can't believe these people. They're not taking this seriously at all. And I've been taking it seriously for an hour and 25 minutes.
Yeah, you should have listened to Deroy. That's your fault for just getting back into the business now. You should have been listening from noon. We were serious. We were. You were. I was just kind of sitting here for most of the first hour.
Let's go to break. Let's right this ship.
Reset.
I'm going to right the ship here in the break and let Ryan go to the bathroom. Don't go away. Vote in the YouTube live chat poll. Who is favored in the 2026 midterm election? Ryan, I told people they could text us their thoughts as well. Who's got the favorite, Democrat or Republican Party for the midterms? Congress hanging in the balance, 314-241-9797. If you want to text us, you can comment on the YouTube live. We'll highlight some of your thoughts next.
Nothing can break me down. I'm the man. Come round and
HomeShieldFoundationRepairs.com. I want to talk to you a little bit about Matt Hayes and his family. Started Home Shield Foundation Repairs. If you go to their website, HomeShieldFoundationRepairs.com, you can learn about them. You can learn about Matt. You can learn about where they came from, what their values are. And I think that matters because you're going to, if you have to get your basement waterproofed or your foundation repaired, it's going to be an investment. But you know you're going to have to make an investment in this area. And you want to make sure that you go to a company that's going to do great work and that isn't going to oversell you. So I want to talk to you a little bit about their 25 plus years of experience in real estate and construction. They bore their company out of a commitment to doing things the right way every time. And you will tell quickly when you meet Matt Hayes that this is obviously why their business has been successful for so long. They have a really great mentality about how they need to go about offering real solutions to problems that you have and doing it in a way that people trust and then recommend themselves. 314-227-9636, 314-227-9636. Call Matt Hayes, HomeShieldFoundationRepairs.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-908-8646 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-908-8646. That's 800-908-8646. What do you have to lose? Call 800-908-8646. Again, 800-908-8646.
Thinking about a bath remodel or swapping that old tub for a sleek, easy-to-clean shower? It's Mark Reardon from Michael's Baths with one question. What's there to think about? Michael's beats the competition by 30 to 50%, uses top-quality materials, and backs it all with over 30 years of experience. And now they're going to throw in a free shower door or $500 off. Schedule your free in-home consultation today, 636-775-0800 or michaelsbaths.com. That's michaelsbaths.com.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
If you are facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
Who is favored in the 2026 midterm elections, Democrats or Republicans? Have you put much thought to this? Did the results of the election yesterday change your thoughts on this? We'd like to know. That's why we're asking you today. It's the YouTube live chat poll. You find it by typing in Annie Fry on YouTube, and then you find today. It will be live right there. You can see us saying these things, and now I'm moving my hands like crazy just to prove it. If you're watching, look at my hands. It didn't accomplish anything. Why am I still talking? 131, this time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly, air conditioning, heating, electrical, and plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Freedom has a frequency. 97.1 FM Talk. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
This is for you, New York City.
To the left, to the left. He didn't even try to do it.
I was going to ask him on the air. You scooped me.
Well, I don't know that
Never mind,
he didn't.
Ethan,
I'm
we don't
assuming.
even need you anymore. Ryan's doing your segment for you.
I'm assuming you didn't. Did you plan that?
Ryan. You need a reboot.
I did not
Will you
plan
please
this.
take Ryan out of the studio and unplug him and plug him back in?
Let me pull him by the ear.
Yeah.
I apologize, guys. The ship is really hitting the fan.
Song starts going to the left, and we all go off the air. We're all like, oh, and then Ethan giggles like a little boy out there and goes, I didn't even do this on purpose. Because he picks the music.
That's a new one.
It's a serendipitous thing to happen. Did you pay attention to the election results, young Ethan?
I saw Fox call them early last night, and that was just about it. I honestly, nothing really surprised me except for the Jay Jones one. I was just like, man, that's where we're at. You can make threats against people for their political affiliation and still get voted in the office. All right.
What if I make a shirt that says "This show is the ship"?
Better have a picture of a ship on it and not
have
poop.
a picture of Ryan's face on it.
I'm going to put an apostrophe before the ship because that's what the kids call the championship.
Oh, I didn't know
true.
that.
Yeah.
This is true.
That's why I'm here, is to connect you to the youth of America.
How old are kids are you talking about? 6, 7?
Wow, he's so fresh.
Now I'm going to pull you really out by the ear.
Yeah. Trust. You are not cooking.
I'm cooking.
Okay, let me tell a story real quick.
Please.
Last night, I had a load of things on my plate last night, and the election was not one of them. I was like, it'll be what it'll be. And it's not directly affecting me. I obviously have to know about this stuff for work to talk about it here. But we've got a lot of things going on in our house right now. Some things that are pretty heavy, we're dealing with them okay. We are upstairs. One of my kids is very upset.
Not about the election, just to clarify.
No.
Got it.
Very upset. We're working through it. And Evelyn, my 9-year-old, comes upstairs to check on the other sibling who is going through something. And like, this is a life thing that one of my kids is going through. It's like a real heavy burdened life thing. And we're talking it out and we're walking through it. And Evelyn walks in and she's 9 and she goes up next to the bed. She goes, "Mom, Donnie won." And she put her hands on her. And I was like, I just said out loud, "Oh no." I go, "Do not go to 4th grade tomorrow and say that." Just pretend you don't know that is actually even a thing.
Oh, I was going to say the opposite. I thought she should go into class and just tell everybody Cuomo won. Hey, everybody.
Just put everybody's minds at ease.
You know who won last night? Curtis Sliwa.
How about that beret? And I just thought to myself, like, while one of my kids is going through something that affects the heart and the soul, and that, like, I'm not being alarmist here for, like, don't fret about it, whatever. You can pray for him. But there's this burdensome thing that's happening to my kid, and my other kid comes up and is like, both hands on the side of her head, "Mom, Donnie won." And I thought, I don't give a ship.
Yeah.
Like,
new day, same old ship.
Steve's going to get mad. I don't, like, in that moment, I thought, in this household, that doesn't matter to me at all. And it was kind of an interesting perspective to have, because when we're asking the question in the YouTube live chat poll today about who's favored in the 2026 midterm elections, I was tempted to put an option up there that says, I don't really care right now. But I also want to know who people think who's got the upper hand right now. So I wanted to genuinely ask the question. But I also feel compelled to tell you right now, I saw a comment, and I don't know that, I don't think we started. It was earlier in the show, but someone was reacting to what I was saying probably in the 12 o'clock hour or whatever during the show, and they were like, "Annie, if you're going to be outraged about politics in America at any time, this is the time to be outraged." Because I probably said something in the 12 o'clock hour like, "Keep her cool, keep it together." I don't know. And I just think we have to have a balanced approach. If you are a Republican and you are 9.5 months into Donald Trump's second term after a momentary mental lapse with the Joe Biden administration, we can't miss the opportunity to understand that there is still a lot of good that is going to be done in this country while Donald Trump is the president. Imagine your gut right now if Mom Donnie won and Kamala Harris was the president. I can't even picture what that looks like. Kind of to the point of what was said during the election, we're toast in that instance. We're not toast right now. We have the greatest fighter of my lifetime in the presidency against all odds, evading bullets, evading a lawfare that this country has never seen before. He's somehow or another the president of the United States, and I think that's a blessing. And I think it's a warning that a socialist is going to win in New York City. You know, when I asked Deroy Murdock, did you hear me ask Deroy Murdock the question? Is there any possibility that Mamdani gets in there and he's implementing the policies in New York City and it goes well? And he paused, and then he said, no, next question, which he's never been at a loss for words in a conversation with me before. I mean, according to Deroy Murdock, a New York City resident, there's no possibility that socialism is going to get comfy and cozy and functional in the city of New York. I hate when I say that. New York City. So now we wait. And while socialism is taking off in New York City, we've got about a 1-year head start with Trumponomics taking place in this country. And this is what I was teasing a little bit earlier in the show. The midterms will 100% rely on the economic success of Donald Trump's plan, of his America First agenda for our economy, for taxes, when the big, beautiful bill tax edits that came through, are they going to work for the American people or not? We're going to find out real soon. And if they don't work for the American people, then we have to advocate for something that is going to work for the American people. We have to advocate for something that is going to be beneficial in a tangible way for the American people. Donald Trump needs to deliver on that, and we should have that expectation. We should have that pressure on him to deliver. But I don't think for a second that Donald Trump is going to get lazy or complacent in his effort to try to make America great again. It's like, try to stop him. He's been talking on in Miami at a business forum. You know, I always think, like, should we dip in and listen to this? And I'm always like, he's going to go for a bit. I think he's been talking for an hour, close to it. This man's not going to stop. And if you don't know, you know, I'm going to say the enemy here, and I mean that as an opponent. But socialism is an enemy of the United States of America. There's no doubt about that. Socialism is an enemy to greatness in this country, and we are going to get an up-close and personal understanding of what that is. And I cannot stress enough that for a lot of you people who are listening, I know that I'm younger than a lot of our listeners, people my age don't know what this looks like on the grand stage that they're about to learn, which I think is an opportunity. Are we going to see even more so economic success? You know, look, compare Florida and New York. Where do people want to live? Florida and Illinois. Florida and California. California is about as good of a climate as you can possibly ask for, and people are fleeing. What's going to happen next in this country? We're going to get an up-close and personal look at what our options are. And the Democrat Party right now, I would be a little worried if I were in the Democrat Party and I was thinking that we have to get some sanity back into the conversation. I was having a conversation last night with one of my dearest friends who is a staunch Democrat, and we go round and round, and we love it. That's totally fine. We completely agree to disagree on a regular basis. But he was saying he's looking at the Andy Bashirs of the world. Nobody's talking about Andy Bashir right now, but Andy Bashir would be frightening to me as a Republican if the Democrats would rally around a guy like Andy Bashir, probably Shapiro out of Pennsylvania. If they would rally around a normie who happened to have leftist policies and ideologies that weren't socialist, that would be scary to me up against a J.D. Vance, up against a Marco Rubio, up against a Sarah Sanders. That would be something I would be concerned about. It's frightening to think about what socialism would look like on a national stage in this country, but we don't have a country that nationally is going to vote for socialism. And I think one of the things that I would love to see the Trump administration push is a redoing of the census. To identify that the last one was an absolute abject failure, we need to redo the census, and we need to redo it now so that we can have an honest count of who is in this country. An honest representation on Capitol Hill of the people who should be represented in our government. We need to have that recount. It needs to be honest. We need to have an honest depiction of the people who work their tails off, the people who deserve to be counted. Who does deserve to be counted? I mean, what the count right now is heads, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just anybody who's there. Doesn't matter what your status is, you're just there.
I think that if you're here legally, you should be counted. I think maybe some people might make the case that you should have to be a citizen to be counted. But if you're here and you're eligible, if you're a legal migrant and you're not a citizen yet, and you're able to, and you're contributing and you're paying taxes, I would be open to the argument that you should be counted. But if you're here illegally, what in the world are we doing counting those people? What in the world are we doing giving money out of the paychecks of people who are in the system to people who have shirked the system to get here, to stay here? Just get in the system. And if you can't do that without getting back in line, that is unfortunate. But the sooner you get back in line, the sooner you'll be back here.
It's insane that we give congressional apportionment based on people who can't even vote for those Congress people.
Remember New York City passed, I haven't heard anyone talking about this to the point where I feel like maybe I don't remember it right, but didn't they just pass a law that you don't have to be a citizen to vote in those local races?
New York did, and a couple other cities did. I think that they've gone through, just like you were saying, with courts. The courts system slows it down, eventually struck it down. But unless it was that recent, because there's been these things floating around for a couple years now.
I think that there's a huge, huge benefit to redoing the census immediately. Mm-hmm. You can't you can't do a head count tomorrow, but it should be in motion tomorrow.
There's been an unbelievable intra-country, not external, intra-country migration that would necessitate a new census. You don't have to do it, but it would be more accurate if you did it, because COVID was the beginning of mass migration intra-country. It's still happening, though. So you could get a snapshot right now, and it would look very different than it did even 2 years ago, because there's that much migration happening between states.
The ChatGPT says that New York City passed a law in 2021 to allow non-citizens with certain residency work authorization to vote in municipal elections. But the state's highest court, the New York Court of Appeals, ruled that law unconstitutional under the state constitution, finding that voting rights must be limited to citizens. Which, if you can prove that in New York, I don't understand that if New York is saying voting rights must be limited to citizens, why you don't have to prove citizenship to be a valid voter.
It's
we've
crazy.
We've already determined that, and golly, you're not. It's bad to make decisions when you're on tilt. That's the way I always refer to it, because when I'm on tilt, I'm not always necessarily angry. Sometimes I'm hyper motivated, and I don't need to be running through brick walls, leaving Annie Fry show shapes in the wall as I go through to try to achieve whatever it is I'm trying to achieve. But you got to let it simmer a little bit. But when Donald Trump was talking with the Republican senators this morning and saying, you need to get rid of the filibuster, and we need to get everything done. The Democrats are going to do it on day one when they take back the Senate. I think that's true. Why in the world would the Democrats not? I don't think I'm 99% sure that the Democrats are going to make that happen. And we just had that vote. I just had that poll earlier in the week, right? We did that this week. That was Monday's poll. Should they get rid of the filibuster? Yes, just for the shutdown. Yes, to get everything done, or no. You guys were both okay with it for the shutdown. I said no, but that's what I'm saying. I'm on tilt right now watching the Democrats do and move in the direction the Democrat Party is doing right now, that when Trump is saying that the next morning, I'm like, he's right. The Democrats are going to do it. And I have this conflicted thought process, and like, well, if they're going to do it, then we should do it first, because if we don't do it first, we might never get to do it again. They're going to add states. The D.C. is going to be a state. They're going to make, what is the other one? Puerto Rico or whatever, a state. They're going to do all of these things because they're going to get the levers of power, and they're going to do it right away, and they're going to do it while they smile at us. Then why wouldn't the Republicans do it right now and make voter ID the law of the land? And then I could go round and round arguing with me as to why we shouldn't do that. I don't know. I don't have the answer. We should do the poll again. But like I said, I'm on tilt right now. Maybe my better laurels would prevail in a week or so.
We'll do that poll every Monday until they remove the filibuster.
Yeah, it might be before next Monday. You never know. We'll see. YouTube live chat poll. Who is favored in the 2026 midterm elections, Democrats or Republicans? Go vote. We'll be right back.
That I didn't know. What did you think I was putting you out for? Because you wasn't true. Rolling her around in the car that I bought you. Baby, drop them keys. Hurry up before your taxi leaves.
RulerFoods.com. Here's something I want to introduce into your daily knowledge, your understanding, how to get through the day with a little more comfort, a little more of your time. Time is money. Ruler Foods has delivery. It's pretty cool. If your life is in a very fast-paced moment, if you don't want to go outside and deal with the traffic that might be out and about, whatever it might be, did you know that you can save when you shop at Ruler Foods, but you can have those savings shipped directly to your door? Get all your favorite Super Saver deals. Fresh produce, household essentials, it comes right to your door. Here's what you need to do. If you're short on time, if you just need a hand, Ruler Foods delivery is there for you. You can go to rulerfoods.com. Once you visit the website, you can click on delivery, start your order right away. You can shop smart and spend less every time you shop in-store in Ruler Foods, and you can find the Ruler Foods closest to you, certainly, at rulerfoods.com. But you can save more with Ruler Foods delivery directly to your doorstep, rulerfoods.com.
Hey, it's Mark Cox. Let's support our first responders. Enter Responder Rescue's ATF raffle. Prizes include top shelf bourbon, a lit cigar lounge VIP night, and a CZ P10 pistol from the range. Text Responder to 33100 to enter today.
Get this, 42% of baby boomers don't even know how much money they have in their nest egg. If you're not sure where you stand in terms of getting ready for retirement, you should be listening to the All Financial Hour with Steve All.
Let's sit down and talk about your questions, because I think that's the most important thing that it is out there. It's what questions do you have?
Tune in to the All Financial Hour with Steve All, Saturday mornings at 6, right here on 97.1 FM Talk.
License number E2014A.
Hey, it's good to see you.
Lights flickering?
Grasser can fix it.
Breaker keeps tripping?
That's a Grasser job.
Outlet not working?
Grasser makes it right.
Old wiring need a rewire?
Grasser rewires with care.
From little fixes to major fixes.
Even the tricky ones.
We treat your home like our own.
Treat? Did you say treat?
Green is always Grasser at GrasserHomeservices.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Missouri can count on.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
All right. Yeah.
So in the election results of yesterday, there was a CNN Virginia Attorney General exit poll by gender. 58% of men voted for the Republican. 55% of women voted for Jones in this CNN exit poll. Joe Concha retweeted this poll and said, asking an obvious question here, but how could any woman hear what Jones said about wanting his opponent's wife and young children dead and still vote for this person? I think that, and I know that Turning Point USA was, very much so founded in Charlie Kirk, and he was very much like part of the, what's the best way to say this? Like the movement to restore men in culture and society as men, but not in like the toxic masculine Andrew Tate kind of psycho bizarre, I can't stand that man, way. But I mean, honestly, I would just, this won't resonate with everybody, but it will resonate with a lot of you. It's like a biblical understanding of the role of a man in society and relationships and so on and so forth. And Charlie Kirk was a champion of that, and he was unapologetically so, out with what he thought men should start being and how men could actually be happy. And he also spoke to how women could also find the same kind of happiness, albeit through a different path, because men and women are different. And when Charlie Kirk passed away, there was kind of this like momentary thing where it was like Erica Kirk was now going to deliver the women. I don't know how Erica Kirk is supposed to manage this time of her life. If she doesn't talk, or if she does talk, people are going to be frustrated with her either way. She is a widow. She gets every grace and concession that I could possibly give her. I can't even imagine. What I don't really need from her right now, and I completely understand if this is what she needs to do right now. If she feels like what she needs to do in the wake of her husband's assassination, that she needs to go out and advocate for the cause. I don't need Erica Kirk to pick up the political mantle right now for me. Like, that's just not what I'm looking for from her. But I will say that while I think that the whole trad wife, if you haven't heard of that, that is a emphasis on a traditional way of living for women who raise children. They care for the home. They make the dinners. They do the traditional things that women in society over the course of decades, centuries, longer than that, have done. That re-entering the traditional woman back into culture as really an elective lifestyle that you could adapt for yourself and be proud of. I think that is a really good thing to enter back into society. But I think there has to be some other kind of movement adjacent to it, not instead of it, but with it, that also empowers women to embrace their families, to have children, to have careers if they want to have careers, whatever, part-time, full-time, whatever it is. I kind of feel like the trad wife thing has been presented in a very either-or way. Do you understand what I'm trying to say here?
Yeah.
Like, that's it, the movement, the influencer movement is like, this is how it should be.
Yes, and it doesn't. It's not. It really is more of a buffet than that. You can have aspects of it, and you can have aspects of this at the same time, and manage it fine.
And I think a woman would be able to make the decision as how to do that best for herself.
Seems like that would be feminism.
That's what I am. I'm a raging feminist. I had like a girl power shirt in 1996. My dad didn't like it. He's like, why do you need that shirt? And I was like an athlete doing all the things. And it was obvious to me that he saw culture trying to uplift girls in a way that eventually now my kids are seeing men be denigrated just to even the score a little bit. I don't like it either, Dad. I'm right there with you. Still maybe a little feminist. We'll be right back.
Now that we're getting older, we've been putting more thought into maintaining our health.
We knew the water we drink every day could be filled with contaminants, so
we called Leaf Home Water Solutions.
They came to our home and did a free water test and gave us the analysis right away.
We were shocked at what we saw.
They found heavy metals like iron and copper.
Our own tap water was putting our health at risk, but Leaf Home Water Solutions made it easy to get safer water from every tap and hose. A whole home solution.
They have more than 250 product combinations and designed a system that fits our needs and budget. The installation took less than a day.
With Leaf Home Water Solutions, our water is safer and healthier. When we drink, when we cook, when we shower, even when we garden.
We feel better about our health.
Thanks to Leaf Home Water Solutions.
Schedule your free home water test today at leafhome.com/free and save 15% on all home water treatment systems. That's leafhome.com/free for your free home water test and 15% off. leafhome.com/free.
Stewart's American Mortgage. Call my friend Stewie. He needs to help you. He helped me twice go through a bagel loan refinance on my home. The first time was just to get one of those super low rates. And then they got even lower. So I refied again, but I actually took some money out of the equity in my home, the second bagel loan refinance I had, so that we could fix the deck on our house. You might be looking to make a repair to your home. You might be looking to pay off some high-interest credit card debt. Whatever it is that you're looking for. When you use a bagel loan to take care of your mortgage, maybe you can get a lower rate, shorter term, something that benefits your economic situation. Why would you go anywhere else and pay closing costs that are associated with a new mortgage, a refinance mortgage? You don't have to do that when you use the bagel loan. And the only place to get a bagel loan is with Stewie. Stewart's American Mortgage at 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. You can call him or you can text him and tell him Annie sent you. He'll be happy to hear that as well. Google the bagel loan to look it up for yourself. And MLS number 226-715.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. A question I get all the time is, how did we become the largest injury firm in the world? We have over 1,000 lawyers in all 50 states and close to 6,000 coworkers. Our call center is on duty 24/7. You can reach us at any time at forthepeople.com. But the real reason is we won a lot. When you visit our website, go to our verdicts and settlements. There you will see what our clients were offered and what they were awarded at trial. All those verdicts help us resolve many cases fairly and early. You see, nothing beats reputation. The insurance industry knows who we are. We even have insurance adjusters call us for representation because they know too. We've made it easy. On your mobile device or computer, go to forthepeople.com and we will get busy. It's that easy. Call today. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-500-5000.
That's 314-500-5000.
All on the free Odyssey app.
The president defends his agenda. Lisa Brady, Fox News.
They put America last. We put America first. We put America first.
President Trump at a business forum in Miami.
And as long as I'm in the White House, the United States is not going communist in any way, shape, or form. We'll stop it. We're going to stop it. Stop this nonsense.
This after a Democrat sweep of key elections yesterday, including for governor in Virginia and New Jersey, and in New York City, where self-proclaimed Democratic socialist Zohran Mamdani will be the new mayor.
As I've warned for many years, our opponents are hell-bent on turning America into a communist Cuba or socialist Venezuela, and you see what happened to those places.
The president says Americans now face a choice between communism and common sense. But House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries says last night's wins send a different message.
Republican policies are crushing people, particularly as it relates to the cost of living and health care, and the American people are rejecting that extremism.
He and the top Senate Democrat are demanding a meeting with the president on the record government shutdown, now on day 36. The president says Democrats are holding the country hostage by refusing to pass a short-term spending bill already passed by the House. The president's use of emergency powers to impose tariffs facing pushback at the U.S. Supreme Court. Justice Neil Gorsuch challenging the Solicitor General John Sauer's argument on executive authority.
Could Congress delegate to the president the power to regulate commerce with foreign nations as he sees fit? To lay and collect duties as he sees fit?
We don't assert that here. That would be a much harder case now in 1790.
Isn't that the logic of your view, though?
I don't think so.
Sauer says the tariffs are exercising the power to regulate foreign commerce, not the power to tax, which belongs to Congress. The plaintiffs, including small businesses, argue tariffs are taxes. America is listening to Fox News.
An official message from Medicare.
Couple more minutes, and we'll start this month's book club.
You know, I usually love a plot twist, but this year, I'm comparing my options during Medicare open enrollment.
You can't assume your current health or drug plan is the best one for you.
And you gotta make sure your drugs are covered. That's important.
So is saving money.
Review all your options at Medicare.gov. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Here's the tale of the daily med fill. Same old pharmacy, same old bill, but those prices kept rising higher still.
Till the savings wrangler rode in, cool as can be. Tap GoodRx, saving massively.
No plan? Don't matter none. Up to 80% off. The deals are done.
Discounts hitting harder than Ma's chili. Dang. That one little app does all the rest.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not...
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Temperatures going downhill as we go through our Wednesday afternoon. Fair amount of sunshine, but it's windy from the north. We will be falling through the 60s. Clear and cold tonight. Big bright full moon out there. 41 for the low. On Thursday, sunny and 65. Friday, partly sunny. Maybe a spot shower in the morning Friday. 71 degrees. 61 on Saturday. 46 for the high on Sunday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Fry Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. If you need a new furnace, get Carrier Cool Cash rebates and 0% financing, so you'll be nice and cozy as the weather turns. For a free estimate on a new heating system, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ray.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. It's good to be with you. Who's favored in the 2026 midterm elections, Democrats or Republicans? If you want to text us your thoughts on this, 314-241-9797. You can just text that number. It goes straight to Ryan. So make it Wigginsy.
Yeah, you got to make it entertaining or else I'll be like, meh.
It's hard. Ryan struggles reading them, though.
It is hard to read them.
You got to use simple words.
Yeah, slow down.
You talking to yourself?
No, if you're texting, text slowly.
What are your thoughts on the midterm election? Does this have anything to do with it? Are you worried? Who's favored?
Yeah, this does concern me. The level of enthusiasm from Democrats in these states is high. So Democrats were going to win these elections. So I don't think the outcomes are surprising. It's the margin by which they won them.
Oops. Sorry. Working on something.
All right, you're welcome. So going into the midterms, gosh, it's a long way away, so we're still a year away. A lot can happen in a year. But since the question is today, I'm going to say Democrats just based on yesterday and the enthusiasm with which they showed up. But there's a lot that could happen with the Supreme Court, with, like you said, there's possibility of a census, there's the Voting Rights Act, there's redistricting. There's a lot of things that could happen that have a lot to do with politics and not as much to do with messaging that could just alter the outcome alone going into the House elections. That's not concerning the Senate so much as it was the House. The Senate I still feel pretty good about.
You definitely have to retain one body of government.
Well, you got the executive, so for the next 3.5 years, and then 2 years after that, you do have the presidency. So you're not going to get like crazy stuff passed, but man, it'd be good to keep the Senate. I mean, it'd be good to keep them both, but
you want to go back in the Wayback Machine?
Yeah.
Struggle if you said no. Absolutely.
We haven't done this in a while.
January 27th of this year.
Okay.
January 27th would be right after inauguration, because right?
A week after.
It was the 21st. J.B. Pritzker on Elon Musk.
We have a very prominent figure who is very closely associated with the president standing up at a presidential rally and giving 2 Nazi salutes in a row. Now, if he didn't mean it, he should apologize. But he knows very well what those things mean. And even, again, if he didn't mean them, afterward you could say, and he should, I didn't mean that. That wasn't the symbol I was trying to show. Now, here's what I think about it. Neo-Nazis across the United States celebrated when he did that. That should be some indication to everybody about why this is so important for him to call out. Now, what has he followed up with? Jokes about Nazis. Jokes, like it's okay. And then showing up in a video presentation to the far right folks who are the most anti-Semitic in German politics. And
So that's J.B. Pritzker. Who's he talking about there?
Elon Musk.
Is he? He's talking about somebody who is he's saying there's a connection here to, like, doesn't J.B. Pritzker kind of talk about Elon Musk as if there's like known anti-Semitism, connected, adjacent, close enough that a little bit of it could rub off on him?
Oh yeah, and also just that there's no way this guy would ever apologize or backtrack from his neo-Nazi salutes.
What Elon Musk did at a rally while he was bouncing around the stage is he put his hand on his heart. I'm not going to do it right now because I'm not going to satisfy the people who want to copy this video of me here. I'm not going to do it. But he put his hand on his heart, and then he put his hand out to the crowd to thank them. Did it resemble a Nazi salute? There were similarities. Is Elon Musk Nazi saluting? No! Obviously not. And that, I mean, like, it's obvious. But it's politically advantageous for J.B. Pritzker to simply, by virtue of Elon Musk being on that stage with Donald Trump, there's just so much that is just accepted foundationally to that argument that he is maybe possibly dog whistling the Nazis into getting into formation. So now let's go to somebody else who has been accused of being anti-Semitic. I can't speak with, I've heard a lot of accusations be put out there, and Zoran Mamdani is artful in the way that he bobs and weaves through his support for the Palestinian state and his lack of support for Israel. He's very much so out there saying Bibi Netanyahu steps foot in New York City, he's going to have him arrested. I don't know that that's the way that's going to work. Of course, the UN being there in New York City. But just going back to J.B. Pritzker and his righteous anger towards Elon Musk for being done at a rally, completing a speech rally, and putting his hand over his heart and expressing to the crowd that was in front of him that he appreciates them in what could be similarly compared to somebody who was actually doing a Nazi salute. This is visual, so you can go back and look at the video, but we're going to have Ryan react to this here. Have you seen this?
No, I haven't.
This is a treat.
This city belongs to you.
Okay. Oh.
Thank you.
And there it is. But wait, if that's not close enough, hand back on the heart. It is the exact same motion that Elon Musk did on the stage, and he does it 3 times. So I don't know if we should here be in a position to, pick up the mantle where J.B. Pritzker has left off for us. Or should we be discussing the merits of the maybe Nazi salute? I mean, I don't know if he's adjacent to anti-Semitic rhetoric, if there are people who are Jewish in New York City who may feel a little concerned about the way New York City is about to go. Just saying.
So I haven't seen that clip before. And watching it, I thought, well, I wouldn't look at that and think Nazi salute. And I don't know that he would say that he was doing a Nazi salute. I think that he would probably tell everybody if you asked him, no, I wasn't doing.
That I was saying I appreciated my audience,
yes,
my supporters.
And it was a little different than he did it 3 times. Elon Musk did it once. Elon Musk's was a little more direct. His was a little softer.
Did he only do it once?
Elon? I thought he only did it once.
Yeah,
but whatever. Whatever he did it. And Zoran Mamdani did a similar action, but a little slower, a little less extreme. But I think in saying that, what I'm highlighting is I have no idea what the purpose of what that person's doing. I would base it on what I know about them and assume that they're not doing Nazi salutes to their crowd.
You're not going to go immediately to, obviously that was a Nazi salute. I mean, everybody, it's so obvious. He should apologize.
That's what's so ridiculous is that there are so few people in this country publicly that would ever stand up on a stage and go, you know what I'm going to do? A Nazi salute. Because I want to find the contingency of neo-Nazis in this country, which none of us know who the blank that these people are. and have never met them. And they're so in the shadows that J.B. Pritzker says neo-Nazis across this country celebrated when they saw that.
Well,
who are these people?
J.B. Pritzker's comments, and I think it's funny listening back to them now. His whole point is, if he didn't mean it, then he should absolutely apologize. Your move, Zoran.
And shortly after that, didn't Elon Musk go on Joe Rogan or somewhere and go, of course it wasn't a Nazi salute?
I'm sure. I don't know.
But isn't that enough for what J.B. Pritzker's saying there?
I'm just saying
that,
do it. An obvious motion of gratitude to people who are in front of you. You're on a stage, an expression of appreciation and gratitude towards your supporters. I think Elon Musk's movement and Zoran Mamdani's movement are the same. I think they were made out of gratitude and not out of anti-Semitism. Mm-hmm. But I do believe that one of those two individuals has been anti-Semitic.
And that's a wrap. You are correct.
I'm like, maybe you don't have to apologize for the motion, but how about the policies? Can we start there?
Yeah. Which one is really anti-Israel between these two people? Which one is putting satellites in their country to help Israel?
I've got a video of, and I can't 100% confirm that it was from last night, and I don't want to get caught up in some sort of sensationalism, but there's a bunch of people in the streets in New York City, and it's a Muslim who is saying that it's time for Muslims to come out of the shadows. It's time for this is their city, and I mean it's all religiously charged rhetoric. And I was just thinking of like all of the times as a Christian, Christians have been told like separation of church and state, like get your church, get your religion out of my politics. And the message that this individual, and the reason why I'm not playing it is because if this is something that happened on Saturday night and not last night, I think the context of the timeline matters. It's still concerning to me that there are Muslims that are like out there saying like it's time to come out of the shadows and that like everything here is Allah's plan and all of that. Like, okay, you have a religion. We could compare notes on religions, but if Christians were to use the rhetoric that was comparable to what was being done in that instance, there would be people on the left who would have a problem with it. There's just a great hypocrisy on what you permit and what you don't permit based on how you find it to be politically advantageous for your political party. And this nonsense Nazi salute crap that they tried to pin on Elon Musk, which was obviously not a Nazi salute. And I know Zoran Mamdani, I don't know, but I would say obviously he wasn't thinking, I know how I'm going to end this sucker. Like I don't think Mamdani was going to do that. I think afterwards he might chuckle at the appearance of it and go, whoops, like didn't see it that way or whatever. I'm willing to put the best construction on what Zoran Mamdani was doing at the end of his speech, just like I wish that, and will never hold my breath, that the left would do for the right. It's not going to happen.
So you don't just assume that his crowd is pro-Nazi, even though there's no evidence that they would be. Because I was told by, was it Nicole Wallace or whatever on the news the other day that, well, the left doesn't ever actually call anybody Hitler or Nazi or whatever that clip was the other day. However,
it's like, hold my beer.
There's a there's a comment from one of our left-leaning listeners here that says that when Elon gave this salute, he was speaking to a neo-Nazi group.
Wasn't it a Trump rally?
It was a Trump rally.
Oh, Screw all the way off, Scoot.
So you just called
Scoot all the way off.
All Trump supporters neo-Nazis.
Yeah, and gosh, I really wish Trump would tone down his rhetoric. Go to a break. I'm going to say something I'm going to regret. We'll be right back.
Can you say it on break? I would like to hear it.
Yeah, I'm going to say it right now. Watch the video. It's about to fly. We'll be right back.
Injured in a rideshare accident? Whether you're driving or riding, Kaufman Townsley knows how to handle these tough cases. We fight to get you the compensation you deserve. Kaufman Townsley. Real people. Real results. Call 314-500-5000.
This is Todd Krentz with Krentz Financial Group. For over 6 decades, we have helped St. Louis families and businesses plan with purpose and live with confidence. Selling your business is a major milestone. Before and after the sale, our role is to help cut through complexity and create a clear financial strategy focused on your legacy. We often coordinate with your attorney and CPA to ensure everything is aligned so your plan not only fits today, but continues working for you in the future. Your goals, our mission. Start today at kfgadvisors.com.
Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Servicing. Member FINRA/SIPC. Prince Financial Group is not a broker-dealer.
Want to build income without a second job? Learn how real estate investing can help you create extra income one step at a time with Lifestyles Unlimited. Text radio to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007. Presented by Lifestyles Unlimited.
Hey, with cooler weather moving in, don't put yourself at risk for a power outage. Get a free estimate on a Generac home standby generator from Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. This is all about giving yourself peace of mind by calling now for a free estimate. You won't have to worry about waiting on hold with the power company. No more worrying about your home when you're away. Get a free estimate on a generator from Generator Supercenter of St. Louis. Financing is available. 314-499-2020. Generator Supercenter of St. Louis.com.
Looks like we are definitely out of the massive heat waves that we received this year, but any week when it's 90 degrees during the day and 90 degrees at night is, in St. Louis, the humidity is not comfortable and our bills do go up. With that being said, we're coming up in the winter months and this is the time that you want to get your furnace looked at and checked. It's inexpensive to have it looked at for your peace of mind. And this is also the time of the year where you'll hear during your furnace checkups that you have a bad heat exchanger or you need a new furnace. Call me if you hear that for a second opinion. You'll be happy you did. And it's one easy number in Missouri and Illinois. It's 314-293-2600. Or on the internet, Bart Inman. Now that is Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. And God bless.
It's time for you to get to know my friends at Lit Cigar Lounge in Chesterfield, where luxury meets comfort. Mark Cox here. They have a great selection of rare bourbons, whiskeys, craft cocktails, anything you like to drink, cold beer, premium hand-rolled cigars from the finest makers in the world, even private lockers that are available if you choose to. Perfect for date nights or business meetings, and live music every Friday night. Family owned and operated. Check them out in Chesterfield at the District. It's litstl.com.
Swapping out your tires? There's nothing like it. With eBay, you can find the feel you're looking for, from smooth highway rides to grip for rough terrain. Get all the tires you need at prices you'll love. eBay. Things people love.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Range. It's the Annie Fry Show.
Hold up. Check it out.
Sports and local.
Ethan's Forgettable Stories.
How forgettable are they, Ethan?
How forgettable are these stories, Ethan?
Ethan.
No respect.
Ethan. There he is.
I would argue that they are very unforgettable stories.
If you do your job.
That's what you are.
Okay, Tony Bennett.
What was that?
It's hard to tell. You were saying?
Unforgettable.
You done?
Yeah.
He's done. Okay.
In every way. That's why, darling.
Unforgettable. In every way. The worst part is that it gets drawn into this, like, you decide to sing, and then there's like 4 seconds of silence. So I'm about to start, and Annie then goes in.
What do you mean that's the worst part? It's my show.
No.
That's the best part.
It's me not knowing whether to start or not, because as soon as I do,
you gotta be quick.
Someone else sings, Unforgettable.
Listen, on the Ethan Hannaford show, you can sing whatever you want, whenever you want.
Unforgettable too.
So.
Yeah. I was trying.
You did that on purpose.
I was trying.
Go on.
It is high school football playoff time.
What is it?
High school football playoff time.
Did you play football?
No.
Ryan, did you play football?
In the street.
Brad, did you play football?
No.
I didn't.
No.
No. I had 2 girls. We had 2 girls on the football team at the high school I went to when we were there. One of them was not a kicker.
When I played in the street.
Stop it! Don't even. Ethan, go on. Leave.
I was
don't encourage him. He's going to ruin the whole segment.
So normally, unless it got to, the very later rounds and there were some local teams that were, playing for state titles or getting close to that, this probably wouldn't get brought up. But this was such a crazy story that came up this past weekend that I figured it was worth mentioning. In tiny little Fairfield, Illinois, a couple hours away from here, about 2 hours away from here.
Southern Illinois, though, right?
Southern Illinois. About as southern of Illinois as you can get.
Cairo.
Okay.
He's just saying words.
There was a first-round playoff game played between Fairfield and Porta Central High School. And the final score of this game, this was a barn burner, 9-8, Porta came out on top. But what makes this so interesting is how Porta won this game, and it's causing a lot of controversy. Porta scored with less than 30 seconds left. They hit a field goal to win the game. But what led to that at one point was a drive where they were given an extra down in the red zone at the very end of the game. So normally you would get 4 downs, and then you either have to kick it or you have to choose to go for it. If you don't get the first down, then the other team would get the ball. During this final drive, final minutes of the game, the referees lost track of the downs at one point in the mix of this, and they were awarded unintentionally an extra down.
Fifth down. The
A
name
fifth
of bars
down.
everywhere.
So they spiked it one extra time is what happened, and the referees didn't catch it. Spiking it is when you throw it straight into the ground in order for the clock to stop. So
Yeah,
they were all
right.
out of timeouts. They were doing that in order to be able to get the field goal team on to take the lead. So they spiked it one extra time.
You want to know
5
what
downs.
was forgettable, that fourth down.
Uh-huh. Can you? Oh, yeah. Hey there, Dice. Can you somehow work the phrase into that score? What did they score? What did they score?
What was the final score?
Yeah,
9-8.
What was the Did they score a touchdown or a?
It was a field goal.
It was a field goal.
Mm-hmm.
Can you say Porta, sorta, scoreda, field goal?
You can if you're slow.
Can you do that?
So
why?
So the field goal was scored on the fifth down.
Field goal was scored, yes, I believe, on the 5th down.
So the extra down changed the outcome of the game.
Correct.
And when was the fifth down verified?
After the game. So after the game, Fairfield quickly realized, hey, that wasn't right. They had 5 downs on that last drive. Quickly, this started catching ground on social media.
But I mean, you're talking about after the game,
The game had finished. Someone had gone back and looked and noticed at one point
On tape.
whether it had been a fan or something that had passed it along to the coaches or something. Hey,
but it
there were
wasn't,
5 downs on that
It wasn't
drive.
while the players were still on the field.
Correct.
There was anything, and I don't know what you would have done even in that instance. You'd have corrected it, I assume, and taken away that opportunity. But it was after the game had completed, was over, people went home. That's my understanding.
That is my understanding as well.
But it's over. There's nothing you can do, right?
So at that point, Fairfield makes this known. They start to basically communicate, hey, this was an issue. They got an extra down. They are complaining to the IHSA about this, and the IHSA basically puts out a statement saying, yes, we acknowledge this happened. There's nothing we can do at this point to change it.
So
It
here's
is
the question.
final.
Ethan, do you think that there's you call football games at the college level, you've watched a ton of this. If something like this happened, what do you think is the right thing to do? Because there's no question right now as to whether or not a fifth down was awarded. It was awarded. Everybody admits that as a fact in the case of the matter.
Uh-huh.
Was time done? Was this
There was 10 seconds left. It was the
So
very
there's
end
a
of the
play
game,
left.
basically. You're asking what would be the correct way, in my opinion, to handle this?
Can the IHSA take away the victory from a team that was awarded a down that should not have existed that they scored on?
You first and foremost have to follow what your guidelines say. Because as soon as, for one situation, you are willing to, change something when the guidelines, the rules say a certain thing, all of a sudden, where does the line stop down the road? Obviously, this was an extreme situation, but in my opinion, because the rule says this, the IHSA cannot go ahead and flip the score after the game in this situation. Now, if maybe the IHSA could go to Porta and say, hey, this is what happened,
the team that won.
This is up to you guys. If you guys
want to vacate your win.
If you want to forfeit this win in good faith, then that is up to you. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. At one point, the Porta head coach was asked, and he said that he was unsure what would be happening as far as a forfeit goes.
Should the Porta school, should they forfeit the win? What do you think, Ryan?
No, I don't think they should. They weren't the ones that caused the error. If they had manipulated it somehow to commit some sort of fraud or cheat, then yes, they should be held accountable. But they didn't do that. It was an accident, and they benefited from it. That happens in bad officiating all the time. This one's just pretty extreme.
Let's talk about the perfect game that wasn't.
Mm-hmm. No idea what
Detroit?
you're talking about.
Who was
Detroit?
Oh, or that one. Okay.
So,
I was like, what are you talking about?
it was a perfect game. The umpire blew the call,
Mm-hmm.
lost the perfect game.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't the MLB wasn't like, we're going to go back and fix that.
Not immediately. They have since.
Yeah.
It is now in the record books viewed as a perfect game. But it took them 10, 12 years to do so, to
and it
officially
also,
change it.
That doesn't change the win. It's just an acknowledgement of an achievement.
Correct.
I mean, do you think the IHSA, Ryan, should go and overrule the outcome of the game, the officials' ruling in the game? Do you think that the IHSA should correct this issue?
Well, not knowing more about the specifics of the game.
What would be helpful?
Would the score have been different? For sure.
Yes.
Well, they spiked the ball in extra time, and because they weren't aware, if Porta was not aware, I guess, of the down either, when they spiked that ball, that should have been it. They should have given the ball back at that point. That would have been their mistake, that they would not have recognized the down, whether the referees had the
and then they
the
kicked
marker
a field goal?
incorrect. They kicked a field goal on fifth down.
So they would have kicked a field goal on fourth down, but they just didn't know what down it
Correct.
was. So I just don't think that IHSA would step in here.
Here's the thing, though. In that situation, they would be running up to spike the ball because the play prior to it got them new field position, forcing them to stop the clock. So they couldn't have run up and set a field goal and kicked it. So, like what Ethan is saying is when they spike that ball on fourth down, that's it, turnover on downs.
Yeah, but do you know, are there timeouts left? I mean, I don't think we have.
I would assume there
yeah.
weren't timeouts left if they were spiking it on fourth down.
Right.
But if they would have thought that the fourth down was third down, the way they approached that down would have been different. Basically, a lot of things would have been different if the down was anticipated as a third down as opposed to a fourth down. The way they handled the situation. You can't, I know that Brad is saying that, they wouldn't have had the time to. When you spike the ball, you're turning in a down for the opportunity to manage the time you need to make the play you
Correct.
need. And that's what they did, but we don't know how it would have gone otherwise. Right. So it's not safe to say that, they totally would have missed it or they definitely would have made it.
Yeah, you don't know.
You just don't know. You have no sure thing on the other end, but what you do know is that on fifth down, which you can have, they scored a field goal that took it from 6-8 to 9-8. And the team that won changed. The reason why I wanted to talk about this is Barstool Sports, of the Barstool Sports variety, huge national sports brand, is tweeting about this game. And they said the Illinois refs should be in prison after allowing a fifth down that changed the result of a playoff game. Now, I will tell you, I'm related to a lot of IHSA officials that officiate a lot of sports. I, to my knowledge, am not related to any of the officials affiliated with this game. But I do have very close family members who are doing IHSA football playoff games. So I felt that feeling of adrenaline that rushes into your body 30 seconds after you evade a really serious accident, and your body goes, whoa, that was close. That's the way this kind of feels to me. And to think that Barstool is out there tweeting about this what class is Fairfield.
I think they're class 3.
So like a 3A Southern Illinois football playoff first round playoff game. Barstool's like, put these refs in prison. And I'm like, easy boy, calm down. So I'm going, I never ever do this. And when I hear people do this on the radio and their radio shows, I make fun of them. So I will later make fun of myself for this. But Barstool Sports put this out here, and it's a very hyper-local story on a really national scale. And they want to send these refs to prison over this mistake. And this person said, it's a high school game, not the end of the world. And then another person replied, for the kids who will never play another down of football in their lives, it is the end of the world. And so my comment back was, nothing that happens to you in high school needs to be the end of the world. Really crappy life lesson, but good grief, get some perspective. Think of all of the worst things. When you're in high school, everything is as big as it can be. And it feels like the world is ending. But, I don't remember high school. I did a lot of things in high school. I competed in a lot of sports. There was a lot of stuff that went on. But, you don't want to encourage kids to be like, that's it, totally. Your life is going to suck for the rest of time.
Hey, buddy, you peaked.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed being on the football team.
And unfortunately, it doesn't even count. So I said, really crappy life lesson, but good grief, get some perspective. The first comment reply back to me says, you, as a girl, really have no perspective on the subject.
Yes.
We need to have this person on for X's and Y's.
I know. Why is it that I don't have... I am disqualified.
Because girls don't play football.
I'm going to enter that men's locker room and share my thoughts on the matter. So this other person says... that these players have great perspective on the situation. It's apparent you've not talking to me. It's apparent you've not had a senior play in a sport they love and worked hard to win games. These kids worked hard all year and shouldn't have to put up with blatant mistakes by officials that cause their high school careers to be cut short. And IHSA is hiding behind a policy that really doesn't apply, so they don't have to make a decision. Where do you put into perspective? You competed in golf?
Yeah, in high school.
Were you a serious competitor in golf?
We went to state my junior year.
Did you contribute on that team?
No.
Oh.
I was there, but...
Were you a part of the team, though?
Yeah, I was part of the team, but I didn't play at state.
Did you get to be, did you get to bask in the glow of that high level of competition?
Yeah.
You took it seriously.
Yeah.
I think you probably were with people who really wanted to compete at a high level.
We had a really good senior class.
Yeah.
That's why we didn't go my senior year. They were all gone.
Ethan, did you compete at anything at a high level in high school?
No, we were decent and everything, but we were never, contenders for state or anything like that in my sports.
Brad?
Baseball. Undefeated.
Did you play in the postseason?
Did you
win state?
It was underclassmen, so there wasn't a state tournament, but then the following year the team went to state and lost in the state championship.
Undefeatable.
I really am looking at the comments from the people who have descended onto this Barstool Sports, asking the officials to be imprisoned over this mistake. And I'm sad. I get kind of the small town, football is everything. It's exciting, and you do work really hard for it. I don't begrudge these kids the fact that for the rest of their life, they're going to know that they got screwed. Nobody's arguing that you got hosed in this call. But don't the adults in the room have to have a little perspective to be like, guess what? This sucks. And it's not going to change. And it sucks. That's just kind of the end of it.
That's where your expectations are entirely off, is you expect for parents to act like adults. And that, in this day and age just doesn't happen.
Same guy who told me that I, as a girl, don't have any perspective on this issue, later on says, Annie Fry, I bet you never had a 5-year commitment on anything, including marriage.
Oh my.
That escalated
personal
quickly.
Jabs.
I said 21 years and counting together, 18 years married, 4 beautiful children, 17 years at the same job, try again. And then he said, well, the odds were good. The way you sounded, I'm amazed.
That's hilarious.
He still walked away the winner.
I kind of want, yeah, of course he did. I'm going to steal that win with him on a 5th down here in the comments, when he's asleep and he doesn't know what's happening. I'm going to take it to him right there. I just, I don't get in the comments section very often, especially in my, personal Facebook account. But come on, guys. You can't look at these kids who are absolutely devastated, have a right to be absolutely devastated, and be like, well, that's it. You can't do that. You have to show up and be the adult in the room.
And to add perspective, since we're talking about the adults being adults, I get being really mad. You're trying to go to state. This is a playoff game. I didn't even know that. So this is a big deal. It's a big, big deal for everybody involved. But you just got a story that has become national news that you can tell for the rest of your life. That game will be much more memorable now than it was before. I'm not saying that solves everything, but it is still kind of cool.
I'll be in Fairfield in a couple weeks for deer hunting season. My dad actually
walk around town dressed like a ref.
My dad went to Fairfield High School, and I'll be able to, share some, get some on-the-ground news about how the people are doing.
You need to dress as a ref, wear some really thick glasses, and just walk around the town running into things.
I'm trying to hunt, not be hunted.
Yeah, I see. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Gain peace of mind that your flooring and carpet installation will be done right the first time when you hire the experts at Michael's Flooring Outlet. They give all their clients a tenant personal service, even bring toys for the kids of the household. It's a family-owned and operated business for 25-plus years. They make sure you make the right choice for your home. So if you have carpets or hard floors, you're going to be happy for years to come. 3 convenient locations in St. Charles County, 116 Main Street, in Old Town St. Peters at Mid-Rivers and Highway 70, in West County on Olive, and the store in Darden Prairie. Michael's Flooring Outlet, IGotFloor.com.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. You don't hear fast-talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Drury Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems, and we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Drury Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Drury Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit Lance, DRURYlaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
I'm Kristen Press. And I'm Tobin Heath. We're World Cup winners, Olympians, and the hosts of The Recap Show.
Every week, we sit down with the icons, disruptors, and game changers on the field and beyond it to talk victories, heartbreaks, and everything in between.
We've built a space where athletes, changemakers, and people creating the future of women's sports can show up and show off as their full, unapologetic selves.
Follow and listen to The Recap Show wherever you get your podcasts.
Stop just trying to paint and patch up the outside of your home. It's time to give it a permanent upgrade with James Hardie fiber cement siding from Lakeside Renovation and Design. This siding is designed to stand up to all the crazy weather we get here in Missouri, and it looks fantastic. Lakeside is a James Hardie elite preferred contractor. Whole team, by the way, is in-house, and they're going to take care of all the details, the color, the trim, everything to customize it to your home to take the stress off of your plate. If your home is showing any signs of wear, it's time to take the next step. Visit lakesiderd.com.
For 100 years, KMOX has been part of St. Louis. Now, Together Credit Union is helping celebrate that legacy. Starting in November, visit any Together Credit Union branch to pick up a KMOX 100th Anniversary commemorative ornament for just $5 while supplies last. Each ornament supports Children's Miracle Network of Greater St. Louis. Together Credit Union, honoring 100 years of KMOX, the voice of St. Louis, and Children's Miracle Network of Greater St. Louis, improving the health of all children.
Is your home, business, or church looking tired, chalky, or in need of curb appeal? Go Rhino. Tired of painting year after year? Go Rhino. Our unique 3M ceramic technology is perfect for brick, stucco, aluminum, steel, color lock masonite, and more. It's backed by our 25-year transferable warranty to not chip, crack, or peel. Great if you're staying, and even better if you're selling. Our ceramic coating allows you to maintain all of your architectural features. The decision to do vinyl will leave your home looking like a plastic moldy box. With Rhino Shield, in 15 years, your home will still have that, wow, it looks like you just got it painted. We've done large condo complexes, parking garages, pole barns, and commercial strip malls. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. Evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
No pain, don't Rhino, go Rhino. Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
If you are a conservative, are you concerned about the election results from yesterday? Our YouTube live chat poll is asking if you've basically changed your mind at all. Who is favored in the 2026 midterm elections? Maybe your mind hasn't been changed. Democrats or Republicans, let us know. We're going to give the results of that poll in just a few minutes here before Mark Reardon comes in at 3. It is 2:42. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly, Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
JerryKelly.com.
From Festus to Freeburg, 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Josie's on a vacation far away. Come around and talk it over. So many things that I wanna say. You know I like my girls a little bit older. I just wanna use your love tonight. I don't wanna lose your love tonight.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Let's dip back into the things that you pretend to like at the office. What'd you say? It's things that nobody likes that they pretend to?
People pretend.
Turn on your microphone.
People pretend to care about stuff at work, but absolutely don't.
And we established earlier in the show that Brad cares about everything. I care about... It's not that I don't care about anything, but I'm going to tell you if I don't. And you fake it till you make it.
Yep. Keep you guessing. And the ones we went over already were team building activities, company-wide emails, and people who say they have the open door policy.
Have you ever
kind of don't
participated in a team building activity that afterwards you're like, I am so glad we did that?
I don't know that I've ever participated in a team building activity that I walked away from thinking, well, that was a waste of time. I actually always seem to benefit from them.
You're a
Usually it's
suck-up.
by talking to people that I don't normally talk to.
Yeah.
If we're out in the bathroom right now, I'm saying that very loudly.
We're not in the bathroom right now for the folks at home who can't see.
What I'm saying is Odyssey has these stations running constantly, and you never know who's going to be on when you walk in the bathroom.
It's just an important detail.
Well, now you know. The next one is mandatory training programs. I can't even picture anybody who pretends to like these, though. They're terrible.
Haven't you ever been around a manage-upper?
Yeah. Somebody who's like, oh, yeah, I get a lot out of those mandatory training programs. But everybody knows what they're doing.
I can't.
This is across industries, too. This is every industry that I know of probably does some level of this if you're a company of larger than 10 people.
The videos that you have to watch that show scenes of sexual harassment, and they're like, is this appropriate behavior? And
Yeah.
you're like, no, absolutely
You
not.
want to go out after work and touch each other? Right. And you're like, why am I watching this? All right. Number 5, dressing for success. Yes, it can feel like a dramatic change when someone goes from college to the corporate world. What used to be sweatpants and Crocs every day is now suits and ties, Monday through Friday. But nobody is expecting you to always look the part.
I don't think that is implemented much anymore. I think
don't
there
either.
are very few places where your physical appearance basically has to not look. It has to look like you changed from the time you got out of bed.
Yeah.
Even if you put on your nice athleisure, in a lot of cases.
Yeah. Performance reviews. Again,
That
not
people
sure
care about, but
who pretends to like these, but apparently there are people who are like, yeah, I love performance reviews.
When was your last performance review? Want to do one right now?
I would not do that.
I wouldn't even be the person doing it.
I know with you. I know what that would look like. I guess maybe there are people who like performance reviews who are of management. Maybe that's who we're talking about here.
I bet management hates it the most.
Really?
Yeah. Meeting after meeting after meeting of telling people criticism that you need to deliver in order to be able to fire them later on in a documented way.
Yeah, that is what it is.
It's what it is. Of course it is what it is.
What about if you're just trying to get more out of a team? Wouldn't that be a way to do it? And, you would actually like that or at least pretend to like it?
But the worst thing that can happen, I think, in a work environment is micromanaging. I will take macromanaging every single day that it is available. But I think that you have to have direct communication, and you have to have a relationship with your manager that it's like if there's something up, you're going to know about it. And you have to have a trust that exists that would be communicated. And if they're not communicating to you, you can't find out like after an action has been made that there have been a lot of problems and issues. You have to work on having conversations about whatever the technical thing that could be done better, or the performance, whatever it might be. You have to have those points of communication. And if you've had those openly and there's no news, then that can be good news. But you have to believe it.
Here we go. Chat's starting to weigh in here. Colonel Ripper says, from my own perspective, managers hate performance reviews.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Chris says 100% management hates performance reviews. And then Dale says we have to do our own reviews, then the boss responds.
Ew.
That's terrible. I had a paper like that once in high school where we had to grade ourselves, and I was like, I'll try to be pretty genuine here, and I'll give myself a B. And the teacher's like, then you got a B. I'm like, dang it, that was so stupid. Why did I do that? Everybody just give themselves the grade you want. That's what she was doing. Next one is company parties.
I think we're breaking.
Oh.
He turned the music on.
Come on.
We'll be right back. Don't go away.
I'm so excited. We are giving away AC/DC tickets. They're coming to town September 6th at the Dome. Be sure to listen to the Mark Cox Morning Show to win tickets to the show. We'll have a chance to win every day this week between 5 and 9 a.m.
We, without hesitation, recommend that anybody work with ThrottleNet. The experience will be as good as it's been for us, for anybody, because you'll get a true partnership and you'll be able to rest easy that you're going to get the service that you need, while they're also doing all those things that you don't want to have to think about, that you don't want to have to worry about. They're always doing that in the background for you.
Don't wait for your next IT crisis. If your business depends on technology, you need a partner that's got your back. Contact ThrottleNet.com to get a free IT evaluation and see how we can support your IT everything.
Men, need a clinic that accepts all insurance, including Medicare? U.S. Men's Medical Center in St. Peters does. U.S. Men's helps men experiencing loss of energy, focus, concentration, and low libido. And they accept all insurance, even Medicare, for testosterone replacement therapy. Patients love the staff and the fact that, yes, I'm going to say it again, they accept all insurance, including Medicare. Feel better? Call U.S. Men's Medical Center at 636-244-5333.
Mark Cox here for the Range St. Louis West. Right now, they're giving away a free basic handgun skills class. All you have to do is register for your chance to win. TheRangeSTL.com/971. I've taken this class. It's ideal for beginners. They have expert instruction. It's available in a women's only class if that's what you're interested in. The normal cost is $135. You can win the class right now at TheRangeSTL.com/971.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Thinking about a bath remodel or swapping that old tub for a sleek, easy-to-clean shower? It's Mark Reardon from Michael's Baths with one question: what's there to think about? Michael's beats the competition by 30 to 50%, uses top-quality materials, and backs it all with over 30 years of experience. And now they're going to throw in a free shower door or $500 off. Schedule your free in-home consultation.
Know my friends at Lit Cigar Lounge in Chesterfield, where luxury meets comfort. Mark Cox here. They have a great selection of rare bourbons, whiskeys, craft cocktails, anything you like to drink, cold beer, premium hand-rolled cigars from the finest makers in the world, even private lockers that are available if you choose to. Perfect for date nights or business meetings, and live music every Friday night. Family owned and operated. Check them out in Chesterfield at the District. It's litstl.com.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Who?
Dumb.
Regarding whom?
The New York City election, which I just said.
Thank you for the clarification. I appreciate that.
Let's do that performance review.
Let's not.
Texts.
So concerning the poll today, which is who is favored in the 2026 midterm elections, Democrats or Republicans, a couple people, now they didn't name themselves, so I'm just reading them randomly here. It says Republicans are going to win. Demo rats suck.
Ooh, clever. I wonder if that's been done before.
Yeah. And then neither, we need a reset. So neither Republicans nor Democrats will win. It'll be a third party, I guess that's what's.
You swayed it all on the filibuster, nuking the filibuster, and Trump going ham on all his policies getting through in a simple majority vote in the Senate?
Yeah, I was on tilt like you were, except that I was between just doing it to end the government shutdown or a narrow end of the filibuster and just fully going. And the more I think about it, the more I'm like, this is gonna happen. So you might as well do it. Here's the thing. We've talked about this on the show before, though. Can you cut deals with Democrats right now and say, look, we won't get rid of the filibuster here or there, or we'll do this or that, but you have to cap the amount of Supreme Court justices and put that into law with us. There are negotiations to be made through this, like that and many other things that you absolutely could get done by not even nuking the filibuster, but saying that you will and saying, let's negotiate.
The YouTube poll is who's favored in the 2026 midterm elections, Democrats or Republicans. I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. Donald Trump is going to determine whether it's the Republicans to lose. If Donald Trump's policies do what he says that they're going to do, and if we're able to see some success by that, I know we keep hearing people say wages are up, but if people don't feel that, I mean, inflation got so out of control for so long, those prices we're not going to see prices go down. That's just the reality of the matter. I bet that in the next, November, 6 months from now would be May. I bet that we see a DOGE refund check, a tariff refund check, well-timed in its disbursement. And I'm not actually opposed to it. I understand like stimulus checks and stuff if everybody wants to get on the stimmy bandwagon. There's a difference between just saying we're going to send out taxpayer dollars to everybody, in the way that it happened during COVID. If you cut tax fraud, fraud, waste, and abuse from the money that was coming in, I believe that money belongs to the taxpayers before the government gets to keep it to put towards the debt. And I think it's a great idea to say, here's your check. If you think it should go to the debt, check this box and we'll put it towards the debt. And 98% of the people, maybe higher, are going to say, I'll take my check, please. I think that that's going to happen, and I think it's going to be a political move that Donald Trump is going to make, and I don't necessarily think it's a dumb one. I also don't think it's wrong, because it's money that they're cutting or bringing in that is new or being returned to the taxpayer to begin with. I don't know. I think there might be people who are saying, that's not fiscally conservative, but it was my money first. Mm-hmm. So give it back to me, and then I maybe will make a charitable donation to the government, or maybe to something else that I deem worthy of those funds. Who is favored in the 2026 midterms to midterm elections? Brad, your thoughts?
I still think it's the Republicans.
Ryan?
I'm going to go with Democrats.
I think he almost just called you John.
That's all right.
Who's John?
I can be John.
Oh, man. Democrats, 46%. Republicans, 54%. Awfully close. Hope the poll is right. Mark Reardon, coming up next.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numb feet, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Patton, D.C. Doctor, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage to the feet and legs.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we have amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands or balance issues, call us at Comprehensive Integrated Health today for a nerve damage screening. The screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if if you're a candidate for our cutting-edge treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call 636-538-5188. That's 636-538-5188 for your free nerve damage screening. 636-538-5188.
CiviaLaw.com is the website. You can go visit there and learn everything you need to know about Todd Civia. So a nice reminder to tell you that he's on both sides of the river as well. If you're interested in an estate planner that is an expert, you want Todd Civia. Elder law issues, special needs, real estate, personal injury, business, online forms, all of it. Go to CiviaLaw.com to learn about what services they offer. We have worked our trust through Civia Law. Now, in Illinois, they have offices in Edwardsville, East Alton, Swansea, Centralia, and Mount Vernon. In Missouri, they have offices located in Wentzville and Creve Coeur. If you book your strategy session today, you can call them right now. The first 10 people to call, 833-995-WILL, 833-995-WILL. The first 10 people to call that number right now and throw my name out there, you're going to get your strategy session, which is a $300 value. That fee is going to be waived. You're not going to have to pay it. Mention the Annie Fry Show when you call 833-995-WILL. Call Todd Civia and have him help you through life's transitions. You can find him online at CiviaLaw.com.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
An official message from Medicare. Couple more minutes, and we'll start this month's book club.
You know, I usually love a plot twist, but this year, I'm comparing my options during Medicare open enrollment.
You can't assume your current health or drug plan